Welcome, Nation, to another episode of the Rogue Nation. Episode 42, title to be determined, because we always determine these things as we go through the show.
So far, the contender's Jeff's mic drop.
And you should have been here for before the show, so you would know why that means something. As tonight, as always, I got the Red Ranger of Power, Joe. I got the two-speed Bard from Rivia.
He hasn't been here, so he's at 0 speed.
Yeah.
I'll pick it up quickly.
Of course, I got the God Doom of Podcast, Kevin.
I'm already changing the episode title. You're welcome.
I, of course, am your Herald of Thunder. And tonight, we've got our special guest, the Toy Hunter, is back.
What's up?
As always, we love having the Toy Hunter on, the unofficial sixth member of the group.
Yeah.
Just keep trying to get him to join the show, but he doesn't want to.
Wow. That's messed up. The unofficial member of the group. He's
He's not here every week, so he's not an official member. What do you want?
That's better than calling him the token black member.
He's official.
I didn't say that.
I know. I'm saying.
As the only white guy in the room, I want to know that I did not say that.
Sir, why are you here?
Who are you?
I get rolled every night in the party when we leave, okay?
Let's be completely honest. Justin's our diversity here.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm a diversity hire.
Yeah.
Affirmative action. That's how I got in.
Fair enough.
You're the one that talks to the cops when the podcast gets
When it was too loud, I'm the one that goes talking. It's like, come on, guys. We're going to keep it quiet. We're going to be okay. It's like, oh, you tell him not to do it again. Yes, sir. Right away, sir. No problem.
I'm sorry. It's just we got so heated. We're watching CNN.
It's all that Latin blood in there, man. I can't control it. I can't do it, man.
Oh, man.
So what's everybody up to? What do we got going on? We had the Oscars last night.
Yeah, we got Oscars.
Yeah, supposedly you saw it all.
I watched the whole thing.
I can't believe you watched the whole thing.
I'm a sucker.
On regular speed?
Yeah, I don't do speed.
Well, it was live.
That's true.
You wait 30 minutes and you put it on 1.5.
Well, I did do that. I started late, and then I fast forward through the commercial.
Yeah, at least you fast forward to the
Smart move.
commercials.
And then I fast forward through Joaquin's acceptance speech because it got a little too much for me.
Yes. Also, smart move.
Wait, why? I don't know.
He started to.
He used it as a public forum.
Yeah.
For what though?
Like there were moments that were great, like when he talked about his brother because he never talks about River.
Yeah.
But then he got a little, hail to the vegans. And I was just like, all right, I got you.
That's funny.
We should be doing this. We shouldn't be doing
Yeah,
this. We should be doing
it was
this,
like-
but we shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah, he's trying to make it about everything, but he really put in the vegan part of it a little more deeper than every other issue that we have.
So I fast forward.
Like he literally said inseminating cows. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's never getting into an Oscars again.
So Ryan Phoenix won for best actor, best leading actor.
Actor in a leading role.
I mean, he killed it in Joker.
He did.
So
if he didn't win, it would have been like that's weird.
His only competition was probably Adam Driver.
For a Marriage Story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's the only thing I would have heard too. But I've also heard Christian Bale for Ford v
He
Ferrari.
was really good in Ford v Ferrari.
He was
really good. But no,
he wasn't better than
I think Joaquin deserved that one.
But just like I think it was the BAFTA. Was it the BAFTA one?
He won every award leading up to it.
But I specifically his BAFTA speech. He
BAFTA
specifically
speech was perfect.
Said like every the other nominees.
Yep.
And he's like Christian Bale. He's like you give 110% in every role. Yeah. Please just suck once. And it's so to me it was so funny because it's like but you're up there winning.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I also love the story he told about coming up in the business and having to audition after Leo.
Yeah.
Like we kept hearing about this kid, Leo.
Even Brad Pitt, when he had his speech, was just like, Leo, I'll ride your coat anytime you want. It's a fun ride.
That's great.
But he's 50 now, right?
Brad Pitt is 55.
Mm-hmm.
God damn.
Yeah, he don't look it.
Fuck no.
That's Hollywood.
He looks good for 40.
Yes.
And not knowing that he's 50, that's crazy.
Everybody, I don't think there was a disappointment last night. I'd
say Renee Zellweger.
Yeah.
Nobody watched that movie. I don't even understand why she won.
I don't even know what movie it was.
She played Judy Garland in a movie named Judy.
It's because she transformed herself. That's why.
I did hear about that, but it's funny. I heard about the movie Judy and the story of where it did the least in the box office of like the year, like something like that, something crazy.
Nobody watched that movie. Nobody.
Not even the critics.
Damn,
nobody saw that movie.
And I literally thought someone from Little Women should have won.
And
I didn't even see the movie.
You could have gave me Saoirse for leading actress. You could have gave me ScarJo for Marriage Story. Like I could have been good with either one of those two. But Zellweger got it early. Like all the awards and the praise kind of started real early, and then everybody just seemed to accept that she was going to win it, and then it was just her.
Yeah, it tends to start.
Like I feel like since October, like they've been saying, Zellweger's going to win, and everybody's like, really?
What's the first award show that's then to start the season? The SAG, right?
Yeah, I believe it's SAG.
SAG.
Yeah, that's the Screen
Actors
Actors.
Guild.
Yeah, Screen Actors Guild Award, and they're the largest body. So it's famous people playing other famous people.
Personally, if we were to go, let's say, outside of Oscar nominations, and I think you could attest to it too, Jeff, is I would have loved to have given it to Florence Pugh for Midsommar.
100%.
That movie alone blew me away, and her performance alone is what elevated it.
What's also crazy is she was phenomenal in Little Women, which she was nominated for. So, like, I would have been fine with that too. Or ScarJo and JoJo.
Was Florence Pugh supporting?
She was supporting. Yeah. Scarlett was the first in 12 years to be nominated for both leading actress and supporting actress for Marriage Story and Jojo Rabbit, and she was great in both movies. And then Florence Pugh was amazing in Little Women, and and I'm with you. She was phenomenal in Midsommar.
The one I know, I can't remember if you saw it, Justin. 1917.
Mm-hmm. We saw it.
I like that it was nominated for Best Picture. Personally,
I did. I don't think it should have won.
Right. To me, I'm biased in the sense of I absolutely love that movie. I actually saw it twice. I saw it.
It is a good movie.
I saw it with me and a British friend of mine, and then I told my father-in-law, and I knew he would love it, so I went to go see it again with him. Nice. And now he's been wanting to go back, and I told him, no, I'm not gonna watch it again. That's great. But I'm glad that it won for best cinematography, Roger Deakins, because that man is a fucking god when it comes to cinematography.
Yes, he is.
Because you could tell when. And I saw the little mini documentary of after that movie of
they were pimping
when
that
Sam
up
Mendes when he came up to like Roger Deakins and told him like the vision of the film, like how this one long take or whatever. He's like, okay, how do I do that? And Roger Deakins is like, okay, I got an idea. And every step of the way of that movie, it was Roger Deakins' input and creativity that put it together. So I'm glad that he won it for that.
That's why I think that was probably the award it should have won.
Yeah,
is that one? Mendes was up for Best Director and it was up for Best Picture.
No,
that movie is a Roger Deakins showcase.
Yeah,
and he should have won that award, and he did. So
how do you feel about it beating Endgame in visual effects?
I was so angry. I was so mad, and not even that I'm a comic book fan. They literally created a world. I don't. Do people understand how hard that is?
Right.
Like that, they created a world. We had a couple extended ditches in 1917. Like, I love the movie, but visual effects, really? But whatever.
I fell asleep in that movie. We talked about this before.
Endgame, Justin?
No, Endgame, no. I fell asleep in 1917. And apparently I fell asleep in a really good part too, because they were like, "You didn't see that."
You fell asleep at the moment. I was in the theater and I was like, "Oh, this is a movie." Yeah.
This is a movie. At that point, I was just so bored. I was
that flare sequence to me is what wins that movie.
It felt like, it felt like a superhero movie.
Yeah.
Him running away from the Germans and just them shooting the flares. Oh my god! And it goes from dark to light, dark to light, and then into the water. Oh my! That was.
I don't know what was the category you cared about, Justin? Since you saw the whole thing.
Yeah, kudos, bro. That's a pill.
It's not a feat. A lot of people do it.
It was like 3.5 hours, man.
I'm sitting on the couch for 3.5 hours anyway. Watching a movie or watching this.
Fair enough.
Entertainment factors.
Yeah, but here's the thing for me. It's like, you got to remember, Oscars at one point, that was like almost a showcase for comedy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of funny stuff. Not last night, but usually a lot of funny stuff happened on the show.
I heard Chris Rock and Steve Martin are pretty good.
Yeah, but they're at the beginning of the show for 5-10 minutes, and that was it.
And then they
were opening monologue or something?
Yeah, because they had hosted before. So they brought him back to kind of, is there? Because I was even like, no, there's no host, right?
No host.
So there's nobody ever coming out going, for filler to kind of wait for the next thing. There's people coming out for filler, but it's not the same person every time.
It was a lot of introducing to introduce.
Yeah.
It was a lot of that.
I mean, essentially, that's what the host did.
Right.
Yeah, but at least the host could keep like a streak going.
And they do the commonality.
The one year that Ellen hosted, the last time Ellen hosted, she did the whole thing with the selfies.
Mm-hmm.
Where she took selfies with everybody, and they ended up on Twitter.
Yeah,
it was really cool. And then she got selfies with, she got like a photobomb selfie with everybody. It was really good. And it was a funny joke that just kind of kept going through. Mm-hmm. One year, somebody had invited in the touring group or something.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Kimmel.
Yeah.
I think it was
Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah.
It was Jimmy Kimmel.
Seth MacFarlane did some interesting stuff the year he hosted. So, I mean, there's some funny stuff that they could do. It's just now that they've gotten rid of the host, it just kind of goes by the wayside.
Yeah.
And the whole thing with James Corden and
Rebel Wilson
fell flat. I mean, it was just everybody was like,
her thing on Cats at the BAFTAs was better.
I didn't even.
She did a whole speech. She didn't come out in the whole cat suit, but
I mean, it was to make fun of the fact that they sent out the cats.
Yeah, because they announced visual effects, so they're like, we know other than anybody else, a movie needs great visual effects.
Yeah, so
and obviously we all know what happened with cats.
I think I always care about. There's only a couple of sequences on the show that I really care about. I care about the memoriam, because I like
which they seem to botch.
Yeah, they do.
They missed a few.
It's like every year they forget someone.
Yeah.
Forget someone.
Yeah.
It just happens.
It's a bunch of old people. They forget.
But they got to. But I always like to think, because we did when we were on the show with Sam, we used to do a thing where we're like, who gets the last spot, who gets the final. And last night I'm like, who's going to get it tonight? Completely forgot about Kirk Douglas, who died a couple of days earlier.
So I was almost looking for Kirk Douglas. Yeah, I was like, they started with Kobe.
Yeah,
and then they ended with Kirk Douglas.
Yeah.
Nice. So,
but
they left out Luke Perry though.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Wow.
They left him out.
So I care about that, and I usually care about the big ones at the end.
Yeah.
Best picture, best director, best screenplay.
Yeah.
I care about those. The one. I mean, I would say I was hoping for Hollywood Once Upon a Time.
I was too,
because I think Quentin should get something, and if he gets it for any movie, I think that's
they're going to give it. I think they're going to give it to him for his 10th.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, because they're
and that's the only thing that sucks about how that's
this year was a rare year where they got the right movie at the right time.
Yeah,
usually it's like they gave it Scorsese for Departed. Like,
he should have never won.
Leo got it for Revenant. Like what? Like he should have got it for Wolf of Wall Street. Probably should have got it for Django Unchained.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he was really, really underrated this year in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I feel like nobody talked about his performance in Once Upon a Time.
Yeah,
no.
I think funny because he's
outshadowed.
It was. Right. But he played. Dude, he's playing an actor acting.
Yeah.
So how many different roles he took in that one?
To me, Leo took it in that scene where he overacted the little girl in the Western scene. That scene alone, I'm like, that's Leo.
It took me back to him and Django. Like I was just like, oh my god.
Well,
Django was scary.
Django was up until that point. Django was the best role I'd ever seen him.
Yes,
and I've seen him in a lot of good stuff.
Honestly, I'd say Once is now it.
Yeah,
I'd say Once is now his best performance I've ever seen him in.
So, I mean, that's what I was kind of hoping for. I knew it wasn't going to happen because they tend to Hollywood tends to snuff Clinton. Like
I thought he was going to
too good for Hollywood almost.
Yeah.
Like he makes too good a movie. So you made Pulp Fiction, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You live with that.
And he's usually relegated to the original screenplay award. Like, that's the only Oscars he has. Is original.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like he usually wins those screen ones.
Mm-hmm. They gave it to Bong. For Parasite, which I was fine with.
Apparently, that movie deserved it. I haven't seen it yet, but apparently that movie deserved it. I
thought they would have maybe given Quentin Best Director and then Bong Best Picture.
That's what I would have thought too.
I mean, Parasite just swept everything, so, which I was fine with. I was
okay. But usually, it doesn't always happen. But usually, whoever wins Best Director wins Best Picture.
Yeah.
The one exception I can think of was Argo. They wouldn't give the award to Ben, but they gave the movie to Ben.
Yeah.
So
I remember that.
Yeah.
And that was around the time, like you could almost blame that on stigma too, because that was around the time he was just starting to clean himself up, become like taken real seriously. He was still kind of in that Ben Affleck phase. He wasn't the director of good movies yet, so I mean he was, but they hadn't recognized him yet for that. So
I think because he hadn't even done
he'd already done The Town though.
Okay, he did do The Town. Okay,
it was before.
It wasn't even his first movie though. His first movie was Burn Baby Burn.
Right, you're right.
And then he did that one, and then he did The Town, which oh my god, The Town's a fucking amazing movie. And then you watch Argo, and you're like, whoa, what the fuck? But they wouldn't give him director for that one.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, and then he made the one where he's a gangster, I think, which.
Oh, Live by Night. Yeah, that wasn't great. That was in the height of the Batman stuff.
Yeah.
And I think it was after. Yeah, it was after BVS.
Yes, it was because that was the one he did when they were like, "Oh, you're not going to do Batman?" And he's like, "No, I'm going to do this instead."
So how we feel about like how you just hinted at Parasite sweeping. Bong Joon-ho
I loved it, man.
Getting Best Director, Best Original Screenplay,
the
movie getting Best Picture.
If it deserves, I can't really because I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
So I can't be like, oh, it deserves. But from what I understand, it fucking deserved it. So
it was. I had Once Upon a Time Hollywood first on my list, but Parasite was my number 2. So I was good with either one.
To me, once you see it, Justin, and that's how I felt when I saw it. Like it was amongst all the hype. I was like, man, what is it that is elevated? And it's literally it is the acting. I mean the directing. The acting is almost secondary, but the top thing is the direction and the themes, man. The themes of class in this fucking movie is incrable.
That's why the script
is awesome.
The whole argument because people have been trying to pin it against Joker. I just think they both talk about the same thing. I just think Parasite
does it way better.
They executed it way better.
Way better.
Yeah.
But I think Joker won for the awards it deserved. For me, that movie was Joaquin's performance
and the music
and Hilder's score.
Yeah.
And they won for both of those. And I think that was
Did she go up? Because I know they don't tend to televise music stuff.
She went up. I think it had to be early. Did she do early?
No, she was about middle of the show.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's when I got to the bathroom.
Okay. Yeah. I know there was an award show for just cinematic music stuff or some kind of
I think
conference
they do a
thing.
kind of preview prior.
No, it was last year. It was right after Joker came out, and there was I think it was a conference, not an award show. And I watched it like it was like one of those like live things on Twitter. I thought it was random, and I was like, oh okay, let me just watch her part or whatever. That was the only one I cared about. And she went into cool detail about how she came up with the music. That it was like. She played literally like the foundations of playing cello. She played everything out of note to make it sound unhinged.
Sounds like it, yeah.
And the way that she would make it pop or sounding even more unhinged is that she would, in random notes or whatever, put a regular scale note. So where it would sound normal for just a second, but out of whack most of the time. And I was like, what a weird way to go about it. I thought it was awesome, man.
It was creative.
That score is amazing.
Yeah.
That score's amazing. Joaquin's performances.
Aside from once that you reminded me about Judy. Yeah. Aside from the Judy thing, I think everything else was well deserved.
Yeah.
Brad was a long time coming.
Yeah, he deserved it, and especially for that role. Yeah. I don't think they're really giving him for something else. That one's he earned that one.
You could maybe argue probably should have got it for Benjamin Button, but. I'm fine with
this one. I'm happy for it, and I'm happy that it's tied to a Tarantino movie. So it's good that way too. So at least you can claim it.
I can't remember who won animated.
Oh, Toy Story 4.
There's a Pixar movie,
which I was so fucking happy about. I know everybody's all against Disney, but Missing Link won at Golden Globes, I was losing it. I watched that movie. The movie's not fucking good. It's just not good. I know we want something outside of Disney, but Toy Story 4 was the best animated movie of 2019.
Okay, good to know.
Missing Link is not a good movie.
That should destroy me.
A good rule of thumb, especially with the Oscars, if there's a Pixar movie involved, just forget about it.
Yeah.
The only exception to that was Spider-Man, which should have won.
And hell yeah!
It's the exception that proves
there's no way. That was the movie.
That was the movie.
But if I would have argued for Spider-Verse and Best Picture.
If you're looking at 6 or 5 movies, all cartoons, and you're like unsure about any of them, if there's a Pixar one, just bet on a Pixar.
Yeah,
because that's the one's going to win. It just doesn't. It doesn't matter.
But people thought there were doubts with once Missing Link took the Golden Globe, because usually those two kind of go hand in hand. And I was like, and then Klaus was getting some praise as well.
Yeah, but the Oscars tends to be playing safe. And go with what they know.
I'm glad they went with this route, because it was the best. And I like Laika's stuff. Like Kubo and Two Strings is one of my favorite movies. Paranorman is good. What's the other one? There's a couple other stuff that Box Trolls is good. Laika's done some stuff I like. Missing Link is not a good fucking movie. Like, it's just not.
That sucks.
It's really not. So if that shit would have won, I would have been so mad.
But I'm happy that Toy Story 4 won. Especially because I was like, well, I think of the animated movies nominated, I think it's the only one I saw, and it's the one I enjoyed.
Yeah.
Like, I actively couldn't. Well, I remember talking about it here in the podcast with you guys. I don't know if Joe and Justin remember, but like I was not in on it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, why? It was a perfect trilogy. It ended perfectly. Right. And this felt like the perfect epilogue. Mm-hmm. And it brought me to fucking tears again, man. Mm-hmm. I was like, fuck you, Pixar.
You want to talk about something that brought me to tears for the best animated short? I didn't see the one that won.
Oh, yeah. Hair Love is great, though.
Yeah, but I hear it's great.
Yeah.
My wife saw it. She said, this is adorable.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I got to check that out. But Kit Bull, if you haven't seen Kit Bull, it's on Disney Plus. Oh,
nice.
That's where I watched it.
I gotta watch it.
Dude, you want to talk about being brought to tears. Oh, my God.
What's that about?
It's a little kitten, and it's done in this really weird, like, very kind of crazy art style.
Okay.
So it's not real streamlined. It looks real crazy. But it's this little kitten that's kind of formed this little life in this little piece of a yard. It just lives its life. You know, you can see it, and it just plays with everything. You see it play with little things and stuff like that. You go, oh, that's so cute. And then the people that own the yard have a dog, a pit bull, that they treat like shit. Because you end up finding out in the show that they use it for fighting, for dog fighting.
Damn.
So at one point, the dog comes out and he's like trying to make friends with the kid, and the kitten's like, "I got nothing for you, buddy. Get away from me!" But then the dog gets kicked out one night, and he's all bloody, and the kitten comes over and starts kind of like looking at it and befriending it. And you want to talk about like I got a soft spot in my heart for animals of any kind.
Yeah, of course.
I'm thinking just talking about it kind of giving me when I saw that was nominated, I was like, oh my God, if that wins, I understand completely.
Oh man, okay, I gotta watch that.
But I from what I understand,
Hair Love is really good.
Hair Love is
really,
worth
really good.
Yeah, so I can't argue with it because, like I said, I haven't seen it. Kit Bull was the only thing I saw on there, and I was like, hey, I saw that, but it's not a short that I'm actively wanting to go watch again because it's that.
It hit you that much.
Yeah, hit me really hard.
I want to check it out.
Like seeing animals hurt.
Yeah,
I can't do that.
It's tough to watch.
A couple, like a year. My wife works for a vet, and a couple of years ago, they found that pit bull that was shot and everything and beat up and put in the bag, and they had brought it to my wife's hospital.
Oh my God!
And I was like, I called my wife as soon as I saw the news. I called my wife extremely. I was like, that dog needs a home. You bring it home. We're gonna take care of that dog. And she's like, calm down, cowboy. There's about 40 people in line waiting to take that dog. Like, okay, well, no problem. We will take care of that dog. And she's like, it's fine. And then it ended up dying because it was just too far gone. But it was just like, nothing gets my blood boiling more than shit like that. Like, if you ever think about what would it take for me to commit a homicide, shit like that is what does it for me.
Or kids. Jesus. Or kids,
Or kids, exactly.
That guy should have been shoved into a luggage and
it's just shit. Like I once saw a video. Like that's why I can't watch that documentary, the Don't Fuck with Cats. Yeah, because it starts with apparently they don't show the actual torture of the kittens, but just seeing the kittens on the chair, like I'm out. We're done here. I don't need to see this. We're done. Yeah, and it's the same thing. Like I accidentally came across a YouTube video of somebody setting a dog on fire.
How do you accidentally come across?
It just popped up in my feed one day. I don't know how these things happen.
Dude, the YouTube algorithm is fucking strange.
And you gotta remember, this is also like 10 years ago. The algorithm wasn't quite there yet. Yeah. But I just saw them. It set the dog on fire. And I'm like, first of all, who the fuck does this? And second of all, how do you post this on with your face?
Proudly.
Yeah. People post a lot of things with their face in it that they really shouldn't be posting.
Yes.
And the age of information has not been really good for people because information wasn't the problem with idiots.
Getting off of that topic, back to the Oscars. I found the Oscars very enjoyable. I like I said, didn't have any issues with it. It was.
Did you feel like there were too many? One of the complaints I was hearing is too many musical performances.
That's that's like an age-old Oscar complaint.
Only in that the 8 Mile thing was out of place because nobody knew why. It was
like
I like the musical performances because I like to see the songs that are nominated for best song. I like to see them perform. I almost prefer them be performed by the people who did them.
Yeah,
because
I'm with you on that.
last year, there's a movie called The Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
Oh, yeah.
And it was Tim Blake Nelson.
That's the Coen Brothers one, right?
Yeah. And it's the song that was nominated was a song I really liked from that movie.
Oh, yeah.
And it was Tim Blake Nelson, and I can't remember the other guy who sang the song, but it was I love it. I think it's a great song. It's very rustic and very part of the Western area, but it was a lot of yodely stuff. Mm-hmm. But I was like, oh, if they get those two to sing, it's gonna be. And they didn't. And it was two other people. I'm like, well, I don't care anymore. It doesn't sound the same.
That's why Shallow worked. You had Bradley and you had Gaga there to sing it.
Yeah,
right.
So it's like,
or a couple of years ago when Tangled, when they got those two, they got Mandy Moore and Zach Levi to sing the song. Yeah. And I was like, that's the only way these things work.
You got to have it that way.
Yeah.
There's a new Morana.
Yes.
The girl.
And Cynthia Erivo?
She sung her song.
Yeah,
she sung her song.
Mm-hmm.
Even Idina sang her song with the people who dubbed the music in other countries, which I thought was great.
Oh, man.
She sang the song from Frozen 2, and then everybody else that plays Elsa in other countries came in and sang pieces of the song. That was really good. But then by contrast, the only difference you could make is you have the song from Rocket Man, which I'm pretty sure was sung by, what's his name? It's Taron Egerton.
Yeah, he did all the singing.
Yeah. So, but in the show, it was performed by Elton John. So that's the only thing. It's kind of like
if you got Elton John, you got
the only thing I can say about it is Elton John hasn't been Elton John in years.
That's fair.
Because when he sings, it's just a lot of it's just a lot of yelling into a mic that doesn't work properly. So, but take it or leave it, you know.
Maybe they should have done they should have had them both do a duet and sing each.
That's what I thought was going to happen. Cool. I thought Taron was going to pop out of nowhere and be like singing the second half of the song. But nope.
They won though, right?
He won.
Okay,
he won.
I don't want to breeze past the whole Parasite thing because that is a huge milestone in Hollywood for a foreign film to win Best Picture for the first time, especially a Korean, Asian movie.
I might be misremembering, but the last movie I think of that came close, and like I said, I could be wrong, was Green. What the hell's that one? Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. That's the last one.
Lee.
Yeah, because that's the last one I can think of. Because even my father was just like, "Is this movie going to take them all? What the hell's going on?" Because it was winning a lot, but it didn't end up winning Best Picture.
But I'm glad, like to Jeff's point, I'm glad it won. I'm glad it was Parasite. Huge, I think it's awesome, but it does beg this question of it won Best International Film. Will there now be some kind of rules and regulations set for foreign film and Best Picture?
Right. Yeah,
I'm in the mindset of there shouldn't be Best International Film in the first place. Yeah. But at the same time, it does shed light on other movies
because you only have the. Well, I think they have a 10 allotment. But I think we only had 9 this year. Yeah. So I think you need the international because most of them won't get in Big Picture. Like most of them won't.
Right.
It's Parasite's a really rare thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's why it's almost unfair that it won both.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the thing. You could almost guarantee.
But it was the best international film.
Yeah, you can't argue with it.
Like it was the best international film.
You can almost guarantee that that's never going to happen again.
Oh, that's so.
They're gonna, because that's what happened. We were talking about this off mic. They did that with Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast was the Disney movie was nominated for Best Picture, and then the next, almost like the next day, they created a rule saying that can never happen again. So you can almost bet that this will,
which is dumb.
You know, because how can you say that if it's the best movie of the year?
It's regardless of
the best
what
movie
it is.
of the year. You know,
yeah.
But there are like some people complained, and so you can almost guarantee that if it's going to be in the foreign film category, it ain't going to make it into the best film category.
I think if that's the case, I think they should allow them to choose.
That was the that's one thing.
You know,
but the other thing was that remember they changed the category this year. Because it was last year, it's always been best foreign language film.
Right.
This year was best international film.
Oh, so maybe that was the loophole that kind of got it in.
But it still fell into both.
Yeah, but they changed it, and I think that was them beginning the beginning of the end, where they're like, now this is going to showcase just the foreign movies, and this is just going to be Best Picture, but we're going to give you that 1 year overlap where something can happen, and then after that, forget about it. It's not going to happen again.
Man, I don't know. That's discouraging.
But I wonder how they differentiate, because 1917 is a British movie. So I wonder how would 1917 not be able to be in Best Picture? Because it's technically
it depends on who had their hand in it. It depends on who. If it was solely British produced with no American money at all,
or American distribution.
Parasite had Neon, which is an American company.
See, I don't know how the politics on that work. You know, it
gets a little tricky.
It depends on, maybe it has to do with the language of the movie. If the whole movie, but then again, then that would be weird for movies like Apocalypto and
exactly.
Passion of the Christ, because those movies were all done you know, in foreign movies. So that can't be
it gets a little they'll have to figure something out.
I love this meme that had gone around on Twitter. I think it was only early this morning and it dissipated, thank God, where apparently in the red carpet, and I think it was for Entertainment.
Of course,
I think it was the reporter asked the translator to speak to Bong Joon-ho. They're like,
shout out to Sharon Choi. She's great.
What made you decide to make the whole movie in Korean? And they're like, it's a Korean filmmaker with a Korean cast, filmed in Korea about Korean classism.
Yes.
That's my question.
I love that. I thought it was so good.
She was a great translator, but there was one point where you could tell she did not say what he said.
Of course.
Oh yeah.
He had did this long ramble, and he had mentioned names in the ramble too that you could pick out. Yeah. And then her response was like, he wants to thank everybody for what they've done. It was just like, okay, you didn't. And then they caught him staring at his Oscar at one point.
Great.
Where he's sitting there staring at it. And they're like, hey, come on. Oh yeah.
Of course,
Bong. That's like Bong. This entire award season run has been amazing.
Yeah,
he's been amazing.
He's been like the meme of him that he's been like the proud father. Yeah, because he's like filming his own cast
at the SAG when they won the best ensemble.
Yeah,
he was there. He was there in the crowd just with his phone, just like.
Bro, and I have to give it. It's an incredible cast of actors. It's such a great ensemble and vastly different characters and people. Because that's what it is. It's literally different people from different upbringing and different class clashing in this film, and it's incredible.
I can't see. I mean, I can't. I like his other movies, so I can't see.
Yeah, I love Snowpiercer.
I
love Snowpiercer.
I haven't seen The Host, but I want to watch.
I started The Host years ago, and I never continued watching it.
But yeah, I love Snowpiercer and I love Okja. And I love Parasite.
Oh, and one comedic point in the show that I actually thought was really good was the Maya Rudolph, Kristen Wiig.
Oh, they're always great together.
Yeah, they were sitting there doing a whole thing about acting, which I thought was really funny. Although,
they've hosted, I think, the Golden Globes before.
I think they've done some Golden Globes together.
Yeah. But that was particularly funny. The point of the evening, so I thought that was pretty good.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, overall, I mean, it was a good show out of who won. I was happy. I mean, outside of Tarantino not getting anything, but other than that.
But you kind of, you hope.
You get it.
But yeah.
I get it.
Like, I just hope that whatever movie they give it for, he deserves it, and not, like, here it is, you should have won it for Goodfellas, but we're giving it to you for The Departed, so here you go.
Yeah.
So stuff like that.
I think another milestone was that for Joaquin winning for Jokers, it's the first or second time that someone else has won for portraying the same character.
Oh,
right? Yeah, because
I guess the only other time
they gave it to Heath in a post-mortem.
Right.
Yeah, he won
post-mortem
because his wife and his daughter accepted for him.
I'm wondering if would it be the Godfathers?
Yes.
Did Brando win and then De Niro
won and then De Niro won?
So that's probably the other time. So it's the second time then. For
two
actors to win it for the same
This
role.
Creates a milestone, though, because now the next person to portray Joker is going to be like, you got a lot to live up to.
Right,
the last two.
You got to produce on an Academy Award level.
I saw where you were going.
Yeah, not the last two, but two of the last couple of people to do it won.
Poor Jared.
That's crazy. So this keeps putting more Oscars in the DC camp versus Marvel.
Yeah.
Because Marvel's only won visual effects for the first Avengers, I think it was.
Yeah. I think it was costume design for Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Right. Hair and makeup.
But they won
hair and makeup. I think costume was Black Panther.
Black Panther did win costume. Black Panther won a couple. They won 3 in total, I believe. Some technicals and then costume. Ruthie Carter, which she should have been nominated again for.
That wasn't film though. A lot of those technicals are not.
No, film. But Black Panther is the only comic movie to be nominated for Best Picture. Oh, well, now Joker, obviously.
Yeah.
So Joker followed Black Panther now. So, but yeah. So no, they keep getting them. But yeah, Suicide Squad got it for makeup, right? Hair and makeup.
That's one in the camp.
It counts.
It counts. You're right. It is an Academy Award-winning film.
To move away from it, and then since you're the one that brought it up, Jeff, you're the only one of all of us that saw Birds of Prey.
Yeah.
And What is it?
My undying support for Cassandra Cain.
What is that long ass subtitle of it?
The Fantastic Emancipation of One Harley Quinn.
The Fantabulous.
Which, as of tonight, as we're airing, it is no longer titled that anymore.
I just read that a while ago. Yeah,
they changed it.
They
couple movie websites have been
changed
naming it Harley Quinn.
When you went to go see it, was all that on the ticket?
Yes, yeah.
What? The ticket was like
it was like a CVS receipt.
No, I didn't get it physical. I got it online. I got the ticket online.
So they're changing it to what? Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey or something?
I had to shorten it.
You know how the barcodes.
When you put it on the marquee, you can't put all that.
Not only just shorten it, it's for marketing purposes.
Yeah, Harley Quinn's more marketable.
That begs another thing, and Jeff, you could speak to it more than all of us. I think personally, I think personally, it's the worst DC EU movie opening in the box office.
Oh no, that's not a thinking. It is.
I'm saying I think personally. It's because it was poorly marketed, and there was no need for it to have been rated R.
Marketing wasn't great.
Yeah,
I think there was no need for it to have been rated R.
I'm 100% with you. That's
especially that you saw it.
That's one of the things I thought when I walked out. I was like, you take away a couple fucks and lessen a little bit of the gore,
right?
Like you could have done a PG-13 and it would have opened way bigger. It would have opened way bigger than what it did.
Because marketed as Harley Quinn, as the Birds of Prey.
Because the Harley Quinn character is liked by young girls.
Yes, yeah.
And there's a new Harley Quinn cartoon,
which is huge.
Right.
Yeah. It's really funny.
To be fair, though, the cartoon is very vulgar.
I heard
all the time.
Yeah. But I guess you can get away with that on streaming services. You know what I mean? Like it's fine when you're doing movies. You get it's wide appeal. You want to be a 4 quadrant. Well, most movies want to be 4
Question now is, do girls still want this relationship where they get broken up with? And
that's freaking out the Suicide Squad. Girls are posting like
to its credit though,
relationship goals.
To its credit though, as far as it opening up low, I think the official number is like 33. It's like 32.6 or something like that, which is the lowest DCEU movie opening. It doesn't have too much competition. Like it's got Sonic this Friday, which I think Birds of Prey will still win the weekend.
I think Sonic's going to win it.
It's got the next 3 weeks to itself, and then the only competition I can see is Invisible Man.
So have legs, but just no legs.
It may build because word of mouth. Critics are loving this movie,
right?
Rotten Tomatoes has a really good score in it, which I don't go by.
Last I looked was 81.
Yeah.
And the audience score was because it started at 92.
Yeah, still nobody went. Yeah. Nobody went.
That's the problem with DC fans, man. They don't go see their own movies.
You're fickle.
Like Shazam was great. Nobody went to see it. Nobody went to see it.
That was great.
Unless it's Joker. I mean, credit to Aquaman because it made $1 billion. But
that was big dumb fun,
and that was
that's because you have.
But I'd argue, Birds of Prey is big dumb fun.
Like, that's what I'm hearing too. Well, go ahead. Get us your overall thoughts on it. One quick question is like, how does it reference the universe? Do we get like a Jared Leto Joker reference? Do we get Suicide Squad reference?
No, funny enough,
Batman.
I thought none of this ties in no more, right?
Well, that's what I'm asking. It's still Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn.
I'm with you.
Harley.
So it has that baggage.
It does tie in, but which was actually pretty clever the way they did it. The way they tied it in was when there's a scene where she goes into, you see it in the trailer, where she goes into GCPD. And she's in the coat and the sunglasses.
Okay.
She's about to stick it up. There's a moment where they pan to the wall and there's a wanted sign, and it's Jai Courtney's Captain Boomerang. Okay. So that's how they tie it all. Basically means like it's in the same universe, and it's that small and subtle.
So it's very
they're not heavy-handedly like, remember this is Suicide Squad. It's literally just that wanted poster, and then that's it.
So it's very like MCU Phase 1,
right? For sure. And then obviously Harley ties it all together. So,
but nothing of the Joker.
Nothing of the Joker, other than him mentioning the name.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, because it's a breakup movie, essentially, and so it's about her.
Well, it's in the subtitle.
Yeah.
So no one reads.
Yeah, so it's a breakup movie and it's about her. So they didn't feel the need. Listening to some of the interviews with Kathy Yan, she was saying they wanted this to be her. This movie doesn't have to be about the ex. Like, that's the point. She's emancipated.
How did the director do, though?
I think she did really good. I think the cinematography is beautiful. It's wild and quirky, like Harley. Margot Robbie is Harley Quinn. I mean, she's Harley Quinn. She's great. She really goes for it. I thought Black Mass was great. Ewan was really going for it, and it works.
Yeah, you said that's like second best.
Yeah, I'd say he's around second. Right tie between him and Canary. I thought Jurnee Smollett-Bell, who plays Canary, is really, really good. Good. And then and Huntress Mary Elizabeth Winstead, she doesn't get too much screen time, but what she does is amazing, and she's fucking hilarious. Did not expect her to be that funny.
Yeah,
she's really, really funny in the movie.
Do you think, because it's funny you're saying that like third or fourth Jurnee Smollett, you think her portrayal of Black Canary is so good to shut up all those haters about like, you know, the racial swap with the character?
Yeah.
So that good to like even shut those haters up.
Yeah, because when you see her, she's Black Canary.
Yeah.
Like she is Black Canary. Like I'm not saying she's gonna top any of your comic versions or your animated versions,
right.
But you look at her the moment she's on screen, like it's Black Canary.
Does she fight? I mean, does she?
Yeah,
she
kicks
got the
a ton of ass.
Okay,
and uses the canary.
Uses the
voice.
Canary card too.
Yeah, but remember, Black Canary was like one of the best martial arts on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she kicks a ton of ass.
That's
so the only character. So the only character that didn't live up was Kane.
Yeah,
right?
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, the only character. You kind of have to give the backstory of like your love for that character.
Yeah. So, Cassandra Cain is my favorite character, my favorite comic book character. Just period. Her struggle, her story, her cool ass abilities, her dope ass aesthetic, like everything about her for me is just amazing, and everything she represents. I've kind of been on a boycott with DC because once the New 52 happened, they essentially erased her.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I was like, yeah, be fucking kidding me, for a character who ran a solo title for damn near a decade. What, issue 73 issues straight.
Wow.
Yeah. As Batgirl, Cassandra Cain, her story. And for them to do the New 52 and just be like, yeah, everything's smushed into 5 years and Cassandra never happened.
Yeah, we have no point. We have no place for her. So.
Okay. All right. Whatever.
Now they've changed that again.
Yeah.
With
right.
Like this crazy timeline
which
thing.
was like, so then why mess it all up to begin with?
Right.
You know, like why erase her to begin with to bring her back and name her orphan and whatever. We won't get into that.
Yeah.
But at least with the orphan version of her, it's still her. I can still see Cass. I don't even know what the hell this was. Like it's a totally different character.
In the movie, it's different.
They could have changed the name, and nothing would change from the movie.
Is she just Cassandra Cain, or is she orphan, or is she Batgirl?
She's Cassandra Cain in name only.
Damn.
Like she's a foul mouth pickpocket.
I hate when they do that.
And that's it. Like
that screams of committee, right?
Yeah,
that screams of you've got this character. Why don't we just name her this so we can get the fanboys involved? You know.
But all this would do is really piss off the fanboys.
They don't understand how that shit works.
I don't. It's weird because they were so on point with every single character in this movie. When you see every single character, you recognize who they are immediately. That's Zaz. That's Black Mask. That's even that's Renee Montoya. All of them. So you get the cast, and I'm like, I don't know who the hell that is. So like.
Could it be it's because they didn't want anything, and not even a reference, even resembling anything of the Bat family?
That's the only thing I don't even know if that's it. I just think they thought it was Cassandra Cain's a character in the comics. Let's name the little girl that. They would have been better off if they just made her a sole creation of the movie, a la Coulson for the MCU, or Coulson's probably the best example I can.
No, was her role even significant enough to have needed that character?
Not even.
Bro, then for that, if you're not even doing the comic character justice, why use it then?
I wasn't as naive enough to think from the trailers. I was like, this is my cast, but I was hoping she would be as important to the story to where you come out being like, I want to know more about her, like the way you felt when you came out of Logan, and you were like, I want to know more about this X-23.
Yeah, that version at least.
That's what I was hoping she would be that much important to the story.
And was she?
No.
Damn.
She's literally, I think I said it on Instagram, she's literally the container for the MacGuffin.
So she was the MacGuffin's MacGuffin?
Yes. No, she was Loki's scepter in Avengers.
Oh my God.
Not even Loki.
Not even Loki. She was Loki's scepter.
No mention of the Bat at all?
Not at all.
Wow.
She's not even the mind.
Just the mention of Yeah, she's what holds the Mind Stone.
Yeah,
like not even the Mind Stone.
Not even the stone. Like, you're not even coming back later.
Like, I mean, I don't even, Wow. So that was so.
And not even the Mind Stone in Age of Ultron that creates
someone,
like another plot.
Not even. So like objectively, it's a good movie. It's a fun time. It's a perfect popcorn movie, I'd say. Tons of laughs, really kick-ass action. And Margot Robbie's great. It's her movie, and it should be her movie. I wish they would have titled it that way.
I heard all the reshoots, especially for all like the action stuff, and most of the violent stuff is all Chad Stahelski.
Yes,
John Wick guy.
Yeah, and he did a great job.
They did reshoots.
Long shots. The action is really good. There's a really great moment in the Amusement Mile where they're in this fun house on this carousel, and it's kind of like
isn't that the climax of the movie?
Yes.
Okay.
It's great. It's great.
Cool.
Except for you have Cassandra Cain cowering around walls and hiding.
MacGuffining.
The Cassandra Cain I know will literally jump in front of bullets.
Yeah.
But yet this one's running away scared. Okay.
Do we get any Amusement Mile or?
Yeah, they literally go to amusement. She calls it Amusement Mile. They go to Amusement Mile.
Okay.
The last fight is in Amusement Mile. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Just no Joker. Okay.
No Joker. No Joker.
His
honestly,
house,
I was fine with because it is her movie.
No, I know,
you don't need. She can stand alone without Joker. So I'm okay with Joker now.
I was hoping because I saw the Funhouse. I was hoping that was.
No. It's there, and then
okay.
You know why it's of any significance to her because of obviously what they had. Like I said, they speak a lot about him, but he's not in it anywhere. Yeah.
Is it good enough that because what I was hearing, especially on Twitter from, all these podcast hosts, bloggers, fanboys, and critics are it's the characters like the Black Canary, Renee Montoya, Harley herself, they were good enough that you would actually want that spin-off of the Gotham City Sirens let's say would incorporate the Birds of Prey.
No, I think you pluck Harley and add in Ivy and Catwoman and make a Gotham City Sirens movie. The only way you can do a sequel to this movie is if Harley's in it, because neither one of as much as I love Jurnee Smollett-Bell and Mary Elizabeth Winstead and Rosie Perez.
Oh my God, I forgot about Huntress.
Yeah, and Rosie Perez, they can't carry a movie by themselves. And the way they set them up here, there's no way they can carry it.
Yeah, but can you get the same group and have them, let's say, versus Gotham City Sirens, and that's their version of a sequel?
No, thank you.
Not at all.
That sounds terrible.
No, no, you wouldn't be able to do it. I don't.
But even with Harley?
No, and fuck you for suggesting.
I know, right?
But what about even with Harley?
Well, Harley's a part of Gotham City Sirens.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So
no,
the only way to do a sequel,
in their relationship, it wouldn't make sense for them to be versing each other.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
You sound
as far as story wise, if you're trying to create that story with the verses, the way they end the movie, it for them to be fighting each other wouldn't make any sense.
You actually didn't even mention Huntress, then I forgot.
I did. She was great. She was hilarious.
She said she was funny.
Yeah, she was super funny in it.
Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
Huntress funny.
Were you not paying attention when he was?
No, but I have a problem with that because she shouldn't be a fucking comedian.
Yeah, she should be ruthless.
Well, no, she wasn't funny as in she had a bunch of one-liners.
Oh, okay.
The way she reacted to the world she was in was funny. And the absurdness of Harley was funny. I don't want to spoil what it was.
You got to be careful here because you include laughs in these movies and these two go off. So.
No, not me.
No, it's
I can't go. I like comedy, but when it makes sense, if you're telling me Huntress is funny, that makes no sense to me.
I'm
not saying Star-Lord is funny, that makes sense.
Well, she's not funny in the sense of Star-Lord. She's more funny in the sense of Drax.
That's weird. That's weird.
Well, she's the straight man. And everything, world she's around.
Jason Bateman. She's the Jason Bateman of Gotham.
Yeah. If that helps you understand it.
Yeah. I'm trying to tell you it without spoiling it.
That's fine. It sucks that none of us saw it.
Yeah. But I think it's worth a watch, to be honest.
Good. Yeah, I'm going to try and see it.
I think especially if you don't really, because again, most people don't even know who the fuck Cassandra Cain is. If you don't know any other characters, none of it will bother you, and you should have a good time. As we've seen by the critics are loving this movie.
Cool.
So, but yeah, I'd recommend it for sure. As much as I'd hate it.
I hate it, but go on.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, Jeff said it's big dumb fun.
Yeah, for sure.
So we want to move into some comics?
Let's do it.
All right, who wants to go first? Anybody want to go first? You want me to
Joe,
go first?
come on, yell into the mic.
I don't want to yell until night.
Well, you kind of should.
That far away.
Which one are we going to talk about?
Your pick.
What's your pick?
TMNT versus Power Rangers. Well, not versus, team up. Well,
Slash.
they were versus, and then they. This book is great. This book's amazing.
What issue are the honor
Number
rating?
3.
3.
It's only 5.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Oh, it's almost done?
I know.
Wow.
I read today. It's only 5. I thought it was 6. No, it's not.
I was hoping
Only-
10. Oh, it's so much fun.
10.
It's such a great book.
Oh my god. You want 10? I mean, I'm down for 10.
Yeah.
It's not gonna go 10.
George, are you on it?
No.
Should be.
Dude, you need to be. It's so good.
I've slimmed down my comic reading to about 2 to 3 comics a week.
That's
now.
crazy.
Me too.
And mind you, like, I'm trying to do that too, but like, there's just a lot going on that's just really good.
I basically go by if my brain doesn't go, hey, I should read this, I don't even think about it.
But that should be.
No. X-Men. That's really what's keeping my attention.
Yeah. Fine.
We'll elaborate on that. Okay,
So, go for it, Joe.
we open up with Rita very upset that her green power coin has been taken by Shredder. I didn't even think that they were gonna battle, and I liked the battle. Did
Fuck
you like
yeah.
it? Did you like it?
Yeah. I like how they kept one up in each other.
Right, and
So
you
let's
can't
just
until he proposed to her. Look, let's fend off the Rangers and the Turtles, and then I'll give you the coin. Right? That's what I understood. But
Well,
he's not
no,
gonna
it
give
wasn't
to
to
her.
give you the coin. It was like, we're going to continue this fight later.
Right. Well, yes, we'll continue the fight.
But we should work together because somebody had told us we have similar interests.
I really wanted the Foot and the Putties to fight. That would have been amazing, but it didn't happen. They had Goldar wiping the floor with Rocksteady.
Yeah, Bebop and Rocksteady. But I thought it was funny that Bebop and Rocksteady were just wiping the floor with like
with the 2 other idiots.
Yeah,
but Goldar came and I keep forgetting their names, bro.
With Finstar
and the cat. I call him the cat. The blue guy. I don't know his name.
No one remembers his name.
The guy that okay, yeah.
I know what you're talking about. The guy was always with Finster.
But then George is just the friendly relationship between the Rangers and the Turtles
is amazing.
It's fucking incredible. Like even when they go off, they're like, oh, like when finally they get like Tommy's location,
Mm-hmm.
because there's been a disruption in the grid, the morphing grid, and it's only because Shredder took the green power coin,
and that's how they found
and he's morphed. He's the Green Ranger now.
I saw the images for that. It looks really cool.
So that's how they found the location. They're like, okay, we're going to go get Tommy. And the Turtles like, okay, we'll be your backup. They're like, no. It's better if we go talk to him or whatever.
Right.
Like, because the first time that went well. Whatever.
Because again, Jason going to fucking save Tommy.
Yeah.
As fucking always.
I love how you're defending the Power Rangers for the dumbest move to like, yeah, let's go deal with your villain, but we'll do it.
Yeah.
Whatever. So then they go, but I like how like they're like staking out the area, and it's like it's New York, it's Turtles
world.
turf,
right?
And I like as they're talking, you get like Zach is like, "Yo, can Mikey come by sometime? Because I already promised him that it'd be cool if we could hang."
And Jason's like, "Yeah, he's cool."
Yeah. And Billy's like, "Oh, I promised Donatello that I show him some of my." Lab experiments, whatever, and I'm like, what? Like, and it's funny, like that they really become friends.
Which one of them?
Yeah, a lot of parallels.
Billy's like, did you guys know that they have a blimp?
Yeah,
they mentioned the two.
Yeah, it's so funny. I'm actually surprised they didn't mention the pizza van.
Right. Well, no. Remember when they were bantering about the pizza?
Yeah.
So they show them that they eat ice cream and shit on pizza, and the Rangers are like, ew, you guys eat, and they're like, well, you eat pepperoni and stuff on pizza. But they show that they eat cereal and ice cream.
Well, no, because then you got Zach eating the
yeah, he's all good.
I may never go back to pepperoni.
Yeah, Zach and everyone else is like, nah, this is disgusting.
Yeah, which is like the callback to like the first time they paired off, and he was like, ew, dude.
Yeah,
that's nasty.
Did you like the talk between Trini and Raph?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Trini's like,
how
why
weird.
Why are you always so angry? I think they paired them because they have the same fucking weapon. So stupid. They
both have size.
They both have size.
Well, I guess Trini's also the calm, level-headed one, and Ralph's angry, so it's a good counterbalance.
Yeah, but she's all like, "Oh, I have to keep it secret. Why are you mad?" Like, okay, Trini, calm the fuck down.
You also have to hide in a sewer, woman.
I like this moment where I think it was just Master Splinter in the corner
with Billy.
And then Billy goes and he like sits with him. Yeah. And he tries to like speak to this, fucking giant rat animal man. And he goes, so were you a man before rat? I just love that. Like the Power Rangers are the audience.
Yes.
It is. Yes. To me, it's hysterical. Like, and I like how like Mikey and I can't remember who else. They're like, so are you human under the masks? Do you turn into your robots in your giant mechs? Or do you ride them?
No, Mikey goes, when you guys morph, do you still wear your clothes under?
Dude, it's so we've been asking for years.
I'm telling you, it's so good. It's so funny. If you're a fan of either franchise, but if you're a fan of both, it's a must read. It's so good. But on top of that, the drama is good. Tommy's going after this friend of his who has joined the Foot Clan that they got separated during apparently like the orphanage order.
Right.
Which then just raises questions of how did Tommy locate a friend from like years ago?
Right. He used computers at the base and stuff.
Tinder.
Yeah, he used like a Foot Clan app.
Yeah.
So he's...
It's an app for everything.
And it's the same bullshit we always hear. The friends blaming him. You left me. These guys understand me. It's so stupid.
I mean, that's the whole purpose of the Foot Clan. They take in people and give them a family.
Yeah, exactly. And that's exactly what the kid is.
That's like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie number 1. Live action.
Correct. Which I don't like that the Foot are humans. I like better that the Foot are robots, but whatever. It's fine.
I like that they're human.
No, okay.
But I think it just ends with Rai, right?
Well, Casey comes in. I'm like, oh yeah, Casey Jones is here.
So awesome.
They're their 5th minute.
He comes in. Yeah, because they're getting whooped. So Shredder lures them out.
Power Shredder?
They morph.
Power Shredder.
But he has that machine where he demorphs them right away.
Okay.
So they lose their powers, but then they try to morph again, and the power coins neutralize. So they cannot use their power. They cannot morph again. So then Zordon's like, get out. And they send in Casey Jones? I'm like, what's Casey Jones going to do against Green Shredder? But whatever. So he beams them out. They go back to the command center. Like, we can't. He's like, look, your power coins are neutralized. So for now, I've morphed you here. Teleported you here. So for now, we have to give your morphers to the turtles. And the turtles it ends with the turtles holding each morpher. They give up the morphers to the turtles. So
Shredder did something of like he fundamentally changed
neutralized
their connection to the morphing grid.
Right. It neutralized them.
They're like, okay, but the morphers still work.
Correct.
But the morpher needs a coin. Oh, so the person's connection to the morphing grid is gone.
They cannot use it. They neutralize it.
So their connection to okay.
So it ends with them all holding the morphers, and they're like, oh, but I love Mikey. Mikey's like, can we choose our colors?
You know what's amazing? There's 4 turtles, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
April has the other morpher.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say Splinter. Splinter gets more.
That would have been dope.
No. Or bringing a fifth turtle.
She's gonna be pink. Obviously.
No,
who's gonna be yellow?
They might want to do the whole, change stereotypes and change the colors around.
Well, Leo is holding Triceratops.
Oh, dude, they're going color to color.
So I'm hoping Raph transforms to red.
Rex.
That'd be cool.
Or he'll get yellow.
And they'll give him his own arc of like leading the team and not being so angry.
Watch it be that he's yellow because he has fucking size.
Oh, stupid.
Watch. I'm telling you. I'm calling it from now. And
stupid,
Donnie's red. Which I'm...
No, Donnie's gonna get Donnie.
Donnie could get.
Mikey's gonna get black. No, Mikey's gonna get black.
Yeah.
With Zach.
True. I'm down for that.
I would have thought Donnie.
I would have done
blue. So how are these suits gonna wrap around these?
Oh my god!
Oh, so remember what I said? I think I said it off air, or I can't remember. We were recording where I said like this was gonna happen. Of course, it was gonna happen in a crossover with the Power Rangers. Of course, the turtles are gonna get the morphers and morph and whatnot. But I remember I begged the question of when they get, like, let's say the morphin suits or whatever, is it going to be over or under the shells?
It's going to be under the shell. The shell's money on it. Shell's going to be on the outside.
Yeah.
No, man. I bet it's going to be over something. It's going to look so awkward.
It has to be on the outside.
If it's outside, it makes no sense. So what about the chest?
Remember, shells for turtles are,
But it goes around the chest. You remember the turtles inside the shell?
Right.
I don't know turtle, biology. Okay, bro.
It's their armor, technically.
It's going
to be awkward.
I keep forgetting the cat.
The blue guy.
I would really hope, if God forbid, they're the robots also change and get shelled.
No,
but stay the same animal.
I can't happen.
Oh, you know what would be really smart? To morph them into the ninja version of the Rangers that they had in the movie.
No, they're not there yet.
That'd be weird because then that's just inexplicable.
Well, yeah, you're right.
You know there is a Turtle Zord.
There is a Turtle
True,
Zord.
but Tor is the like carrier Zord. He's
still
like
a Turtle Zord.
He's like the long neck was that they all would just jump into.
Imagine that's the only one that they have a connection with. Yeah, hearing this for the first time. Well, I don't know if you were putting on the series.
I read issue
1, right?
1.
Oh, okay.
I still got to catch.
But wasn't it enough that caught your attention to keep reading? Or
yes, yeah. I figured it was because how many issues is it?
It's 5 apparently.
Well, we're in 3
I can
right
binge that. Yeah, I tend to binge books, so like.
Well, you can now on your
for sure. Yeah. So I'll get it, and I've been getting the covers anyway. So
I've been seeing you posted. That's right. On the
I have to go back to the blue one because this week was blue.
Yes,
I have to go back.
Those covers are awesome.
But I think my favorite cover so far is the one of the Shredder, Shredder's hands holding the Green Ranger helmet.
Yeah.
So
I
dope.
think, I feel like
that's a callback to Shattered Grid.
Yes.
That artwork has become so iconic for being
it has.
a comic book. I'm just like, wow, this is huge.
Wow.
Oh, Joe brings out some, nice one.
Shredder holding the best Ranger's helmet, Jason's helmet.
The Red Ranger of
Power. The other one's the blue one, right?
What? No,
the green one.
The green and the white. The white is the chase.
Gotcha.
And they're going for like 60 cents.
Yeah,
crazy.
Jesus. I don't care for green or white, so I'm good with red.
But yeah, that's Mighty Morphin Power Rangers / Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 3. That title's a mouthful.
It's shorter than the Birds of Prey title.
That's CVS receipt.
Well, they just fixed it, so.
The CVS receipt.
They should have fixed it a long time ago.
They really should have.
I can't believe their marketing team wasn't like, hey, this might be a bad idea, guys.
How do you fix it after the movie comes out? I don't know.
They've done that before.
Yeah. Live, die, repeat.
That's like a sign of like
the marketing fails.
Right. What are we doing?
Yeah, the Edge of Tomorrow / Live, Die, Repeat with Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt.
Yeah,
they did that after the fact.
Yeah, but the difference is that movie's great.
Yeah.
It is great.
Too bad no one saw it.
Yeah, fair enough.
I saw it 2 years
so they're in the same boat.
Yeah, they're in the same boat. Nobody saw either.
They're in the same boat.
They've been doing that for years, though. I mean, look at Die Hard. They had to pull Bruce Willis off all the posters because every time he showed up on screen in the trailers, people started laughing. It was the comedy.
Right, they couldn't take him seriously.
They couldn't take him seriously. And then after the movie came out, people were like, oh, no, this is very good. They put him back on the posters.
All right, fair enough.
Well, Justin, you want to go next?
Sure, I'll go next. I read 2 books. I read Darth Vader and I read Justice League 40. Darth Vader is continuing in a long series of Darth Vader books being fucking amazing.
Yeah.
This book is so good, and I love where it picks up because it picks up right after right before he cuts off Luke's hand.
This one's is Greg Pak?
Yes, Greg Pak, and a really great artist on this one too, Iniko. It's not till the end of the book. I'll get to it later. But this book starts out right, and it's all told from Vader's point of view too. So you're seeing it through his eyes, and it's right before he cuts the hand off.
Yeah, so it's picking up the ending of Empire.
Right, yeah, but right after this, he gets it in his head. He's dealing with the fact that Luke's my son.
Yeah,
and he's weak. Because he's like, join me, and he's like, nah, I'm going to jump off this thing. I'd rather do that. He's looking at him as very weak. Mm-hmm. So he decides, I'm going to go find the people that made him weak and punish them.
Oh, wow.
Dark. Yeah, but I love the way he said it. He's like, I will discover everyone who hid the boy from me.
Yeah.
And I will make them pay.
Well, his master hid was one of them.
Number one.
I mean,
but he doesn't know that.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Well, I know, but
and then they incorporate a lot. They incorporate some Death Troopers, which I like because they don't have any. Nobody knows what they're saying. So and they even refer to that later in the book where they're talking to people. They're like, I don't know what you're saying. I mean, they give them a droid, which I think is, and the droid is just works as basically. What's it called?
Like exposition.
Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. Exposition. He's basically explaining what's going on.
Okay.
But I like how later, because he just keeps talking and talking, Vader stops him and pulls out his motivator. It is like, if you tell anybody what happens on this trip, you will explode. He's like, oh, well, at least now I'm figuring things out.
I like how it gets one of the cooler aspects from the first Vader series, the previous one, which I believe was Karen Gillan. Right? Kieran?
No, I think Kieran was the first one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, the first one.
Yes, the first one was
Kieran. Because that's the one that picks up after New Hope. And it's a majority of that was him investigating who was the rebel pilot that blew up the Death Star.
Right.
And when he discovers
it was Luke.
The identity of it being Luke Skywalker, it's such a huge revelatory thing in that comic, in that series. Yeah. So this treats it also as another investigation, but he's looking for who hit him. And one of the parts, like one of the things that he stops by is, I think he goes to Naboo.
Yeah. No, he goes to Tatooine.
Yes,
he goes to
Tatooine. But no, I meant he goes back to Padme's headquarters on Coruscant.
Yes,
that's what I meant.
He goes to Tatooine first because he's looking for where, and he goes and he's having flashbacks of when he was on Tatooine looking for his mom. So he's got those scenes and the juxtaposition of those scenes and everything like that, which is really cool. Some pirates kind of see that an Imperial shuttle's coming and says, "Oh, we're going to take this motherfucker down." So
worst decision of your life.
They investigate, and he starts remembering, and he's got all these things, but he starts seeing kind of getting an idea of how Luke grew up.
Yeah.
But he's also seeing like his history there with Padme and how he's there looking for his mom. And meanwhile, the robot's kind of narrating everything. It's like, "Oh yeah, Padme Amidala," or not Padme. I'm sorry. Shmi Skywalker, she ended up marrying Cliegg Lars. She died, and then the whole clan of Tusken Raiders that killed her all were mysteriously massacred. It doesn't say a word.
I love how whenever that exposition dump is there, it cuts to the panel is shown of just Vader's face. But it's expressionless because it's just a helmet.
Yeah. Oh, they're not making an emote in this one?
No, not like the Charles Soule one.
No, but I like how this one everything's got the red tinge. Whatever you're seeing through his eyes, like the lenses from his mask.
Yeah, the art was great.
Great artist on this.
Justin, it only does that in flashbacks, so it's not what he's seeing. It's what I'm assuming what he's remembering.
But it's supposed to show that it's him remembering.
Yeah,
through his eyes. So the only thing that kind of sucks is that they recreate one of the worst pieces of dialogue from Revenge of the Sith. Not the no. But the whole thing, he was like, "I'm more powerful than the Chancellor. We can overthrow him." It's like, where did you come to that conclusion? When did that happen? But so you got all that going on, and then he's just trying. He kind of juxtaposes Luke falling with Padme falling because he's kind of pushing the two together.
Yeah.
And then he's looking for somebody to punish, but there's nobody there. So the droid's like, "Oh, there's some graves over there. Let's go see." He's thinking it's Owen and Beru Lars, and it's not. It's actually Cliegg and Shmi. Shmi's like, "We don't know where Owen and Beru are buried, but I thought maybe you could desecrate their graves. Maybe that make you feel better." But then the pirates show up, and he's just like, "All right," because they almost blow him up, and he just kind of walks out of the fire like it was nothing, and he just takes them all down, just fucking decimates.
It's Vader. So.
Yeah, but after here, they go to Coruscant, and then apparently her apartment was sealed at the time of her death, and nobody's been in since. And he uses the Force to split they put a statue in front of the door of her face, and he uses the Force to split it apart. Because at first I thought it was like a secret hideout.
Yeah.
And then no, it's just her apartment. And he starts going through and remembering the times he had there and everything that's kind of going on with them. And then the room's bugged. So they're investigating, okay, who bugged the room? And then that leads them to this planet, Vendexia. And you really don't get much time on what's going on because he shows up, he starts taking people out, and then he's kind of blindsided by Padme being there. And that's where the book ends.
Yeah. What a weird first issue.
Okay. This issue was all over the place.
Yeah. But it was really good.
Yeah. No, it sounds great. It looks great.
Wow.
Who's the artist?
Raffaella Enco. Or Raphael Enco.
But the only one who would bug the room is Palpatine.
Yeah, that's what I originally thought.
Right. Because
much better. I mean, I love the last book, but much better art in this book than that book. So that was a great book.
Nice.
And then the other one I read was
JLA
number 40. I wanted to jump on this book just to see because we all remember how much of a disaster Snyder's just reaching too far and too high. And just,
it's funny we said it because I think we're the only ones that were saying it because Justice League was selling well every month. And people are loving the Doom War that I wasn't reading, so I don't know that alien being that they were fighting with in the Doom War. So apparently, Snyder's run was successful, but not that successful because he wanted to go on for 100 issues. And he got kicked out on
number 49. Yeah. So 40 is a new creative team. It's Robert Venditti and Doug Mahnke coming on to the book. I really wish we could have gotten a Doug Mahnke cover, but you know what are you gonna do? Right. We got a Brian Hitch cover. Garbage. So this book was actually I really dug. I was skeptical, but I wanted to give it a try because I love Justice League so much. I wanted to give this book a chance, and I was pleasantly surprised because this book starts out with a person crashing to Earth and the Justice League showing up. And when they find out, it's somebody similar to Superman, but it's actually it's Sodom Yat. He's a Daxamite, which Daxamites are similar in physiology to Kryptonians.
Why does that name sound familiar?
Sodom Yat, Blackest Night. Right. He was the chosen one. Okay. Yeah. So after that storyline, Sodom Yat went back to Daxam and became a senator on Daxam and left the Green Lantern Corps completely. Oh. So this is him crashing to Earth and warning that the Eradicator has given up trying to preserve Kryptonian life through Superman and have gone to the next closest thing possible, so the Daxamites. Yeah. So he's kind of upgraded and genetically engineered certain people on Daxam so that they have all the Daxamites' powers because they get the similar powers that Superman does because of the Yellow Sun, because they're close in physiology, but none of their weaknesses because Daxamites are severely allergic to lead. Lead kills them. So,
well, yeah, just like he can't see through lead.
Yeah. But in the difference is that lead, if they're exposed to lead, they're going to die. Right. Because that was why Sodom Yat became a Green Lantern. Was he was exposed to lead, and the only way that he was going to be able to live was to have a Green Lantern ring on, to have the aura of protection from the ring to keep the lead from killing him. Yeah. Wow. So,
I like this John Stewart.
Yeah, this book actually makes John Stewart pretty much the leader of the League because he's the one giving orders. And at one point in the book, he's even talking to Superman, going, "You know, you don't really seem to mind that I'm taking point on this." And he's like, "Hey, I'm just a guy from Kansas. What do you want?"
Yes, yeah.
So he's worrying that the Eradicator's coming, and he's bringing all these genetic because he wants to use Earth as the next place to rebuild Krypton. Which seems like an old story, but I didn't mind it in this book. It actually made sense to me. So, and it was a good read. I enjoyed it a lot. It's just them preparing. They were trying to figure out how they're going to fight the Daxamites, and he's like, they don't have any of Superman's weaknesses. And they even asked Superman, like, what else? Like, they say it. They phrase it weird. Like, what else do you hate? And he's like, well, I don't really like magic too much. And he's like, we need to get magic.
Right, he's weak against.
So they turn to Diana, and Diana's like, well, the Justice League Dark are in their own thing. We can't do anything with them. Yeah. But there's a person in London who's very amiable, and it's Madame Xanadu. So Batman's like, I'm going to go get Madame Xanadu. You guys try to prepare for them coming. And
wait, why are the Daxamites coming to Earth again?
Because they want to use Earth. Eradicator wants to use Earth as a new Krypton. He wants to take out everybody on Earth and make Earth new Krypton. Right? Also, because it's closest to the sun. Story.
And then the Daxamites would be strongest there.
Yes.
So it's Man of Steel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they go through everything. There seems to be something wrong with the Flash because he was told to do something at the beginning of the book, and then he hesitated, and they're like, everybody's like, are you sure you're okay? He's like, I'm fine. So something's wrong with him, but they haven't really elaborated on what.
Something happened to him recently in the DC universe.
I think. Well, supposedly he was like combined and turned. They kind of explained him away with Dr. Manhattan somehow.
Yeah, and he had to do a whole like council of the Flashes and bring them all together. It was a weird storyline. I just read the synopsis on.
But this is a great shot of Madame Xanadu with Batman.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, man, after my heart.
It was like a hentai.
A little bit.
Reverse.
So Batman's just Uber right now?
So it ends with the Eradicator showing up on Earth, and Batman still hasn't secured Madame Xanadu, but the Daxamites are all behind him, and that's where the book ends. But I thought it was a good enough read that I'm going to pick up the next one and see where it goes.
Yeah, I think I'm going to hop on.
Yeah, I wanted to give it a chance because, like I said, artist, can't go wrong with Doug Mahnke.
That artist is amazing.
I'm kind of wishy-washy with Robert Vendetta because I think that he kind of took down Green Lantern from the point that it should have been. But at the same time, there are some good stories in there.
Yeah,
they're not all great.
Yeah, they weren't all bad.
But there's some good ones in there. So I'm going to give it a shot, see what happens.
out of that Green Lantern's taking point on this, so I might pick it up as well.
I like it as John Stewart.
I mean, you got
that's crazy.
And no Cyborg
drawing a Green Lantern. I'm all in.
Thank you, Lord. No
I'm all
Cyborg.
in.
I hate Cyborg.
No Cyborg?
Yeah, no, I don't like Cyborg.
I'd never liked that decision that they made. I never got it.
Well, I the way that Jeff Johns explained it, I thought made sense. Was the idea that we're moving forward into a technological age,
right?
So you would want the most technological Avenger, most technological being. But never mind that. You want the most technological being to be on your team, and then, but you got to remember when he did that, they had combined him with the Mother Box too. So they wanted to make him like the almost the New Gods extension of the team as well. Okay, because that's just the way Jeff Johns.
Yeah, but I feel like Martian Manhunter could have dealt with the technology.
Well, no, because they've always portrayed Martian Manhunter as a man apart. Like he doesn't even leave the station half the time.
Yeah, okay.
And they were also moving in that direction where they're trying to bring him more to Earth. Mm-hmm. And then he's always like, I love Martian Manhunter. I think he should always be on the Justice League. But I get where Martian Manhunter's always got to be that one that's like, meanwhile, back at the lair, because really he works more as a guy who could be in disguise.
Okay, no, that's fair. I feel like Cyborg should be a Titan.
No, that's the one problem. It's like the Cyborg came in the Titans. Yeah. He should always be on the Titans. Mm-hmm. Unless you're going to promote other people from the Titans to the Justice League, right? So unless you're going to have a Justice League made up of all the Teen Titans, which they did at one time, because during Grant Morrison's run, he created, he had a huge roster of Titans, and Nightwing was on it, and Huntress was on it. Yeah. I mean, there was a bunch of people on that team. So
I'd be down with that, but who knows?
So those are my books.
Georgia, what you want to do, Marauders? Is that most likely the only book you read?
I read Marauders and X-Men Fantastic Four.
Yeah, that's the big book anyways.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
When that, instead of me talking, just you since you're back this episode, you do.
I mean, we can tag team it.
Yeah, we're tag teaming, that's fine. But since you got it in front of you, and you probably read it more...
I read it 20 years ago.
Right, more recent than me. I read it like last week.
Well, I do love it just because we're bringing in more mutants that I have absolutely no clue about. The cover is Calypso.
Yeah, Calypso from the Morlocks.
Yeah.
Shout out to Russell Dodderman.
And one quick question before we go on. Why does she have an eye patch?
Who?
Calypso?
I feel like she's always had an eye patch.
She's always had an eye patch. She's always been Morlock with a...
I don't remember it ever explaining why.
I don't know if they ever had it.
Right.
No, she just had it.
I feel like, okay, so in this book, they when they talk about certain things, it seems like she just came back from the Resurrection Protocol or something. And I'm like, why does she have an eye patch?
Oh. Wait, so, did she?
Let's get into it.
Okay. Wait, I don't remember them saying that she was brought back.
Well, I feel like it's a subtle context clues, and I'll point it out when we get into it. But the book literally starts off with one of my favorite things.
The infographics.
The fucking infographics. It's a text message of the unknown person who works at the X desk in the U.S., who he's been talking and narrating certain different things, and he's messaging Catherine about... He says Catherine in the text message that he met her. It doesn't matter, but so and so they bought drugs and they bought Krakoan medicine on the black market, and it looks like they're going to be doing this terrorist thing with it. He thinks she's a good person. Please go save them. Yeah. And that's where it just kicks off the book with
and we know that it's the Harmonies Verendi.
Yeah, I say homies now at this point just because the word looks like homies Verendi.
I just said Verendi because that's how they've been saying.
Well, yeah. I like that they finally just shortened it to Verendi. So, the human version of the Hellfire Club. Yeah. The human component, the human counterpart. The bad people. So, you have Calypso staring at the Emma Frost's White Palace.
I call it Frost Palace.
Frost Palace, yeah, I'll take it. Frost Palace. And it looks absolutely gorgeous. She's just like, yeah, of course, this would be a place that she would be at.
Yeah. To me, it makes me think of, like, the Ice Temple and Zelda games.
Ice Temple. Well, I never played Zelda games.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, who are you?
I'm sorry. My parents didn't have money like everybody else to buy me Nintendos and games and stuff like that.
Jeez.
No, I went outside and played. I have more coordination than you, Kevin. Sorry.
But you play more games than me.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So, I also played baseball. I was in Taekwondo. I was in a bunch of other sports, football.
Jeez.
Yeah.
How did you get on the show?
For real.
Because I didn't like any of it.
Okay.
Jeez, it must be nice to have parents that love you.
Must have been nice to have parents that let you read comics and, play video games.
They didn't love me.
That's why they told me to shut up. Was the reason.
Yeah. Yes.
All right. Let's get back to the book, man. So, Calypso's coming in here, and she thinks something's happening to Frost, and she runs in, and it's just Frost with her four-armed designer buddy, who she brought back from the dead, and he's designing stuff for her, and she's basically like in her underwear, just talking to her casually.
Shit.
Usual.
Yeah, just her being her. The only thing I do like is that the artist drew her with no ass, so I'm just like, that's funny, white girl.
No, that's Callisto, and that's Callisto, not Calypso.
No, I'm saying Frost has no ass.
Oh, Frost has no ass.
Frost has no ass.
Um,
Callisto has an ass.
It's to me, it's like the typical
White girl.
Yeah, typical blonde white girl with like no ass, no tits.
Big boobs, big boobs.
But and they look fake. So
yeah,
I just thought that hilarious. But
she's still hot though.
They're talking about how she got her back, and then it's in one of these panels where Frost is just like, I use my influence to put certain people at the top of the list.
Yeah,
and then I feel like at that point, not only does she point out her forearm designer, which I don't remember his name, but she kind of makes it seem that she put Callisto on the top of the resurrection protocol list.
Okay.
So that's where I get the influence that it might be. Obviously, it doesn't say it straightforward, but they have that nice conversation, and then she offers her the position of White Knight. She's a little mad about it, but when...
Who's her White Bishop? I can't remember.
Bishop is her brother.
Christian Frost.
Christian Frost, who hasn't decided on a superhero name.
Gotcha.
But I'm pretty sure I know what his superhero name is going to be. Or his superpower
Wait,
name.
what's his mutant ability?
He's ice.
More ice.
Oh, okay.
He's actually getting together with Iceman.
Right.
Oh, that's Christian Frost?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't know who the fuck the dude was.
They mentioned him for like 2 seconds in the last book.
Okay. It's like, I think he's bald, right? He's the bald one with the glasses?
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not sure if he's bald or just super short hair.
Yeah.
I think it's a fade like you.
Yeah, it might be a buzz cut.
But either way, she cuts off the sleeves of this very nice coat the designer just made. The designer falls in love with it, just like a typical fashion designer. And she's like, okay, I'll take the position. And she goes off on her first mission, but gives the dude a dagger, which I feel like that dagger is going to be important later on just because of the way they emphasize it. And because he already died, I'm like, okay, cool.
Well, it's a very narrative plot thing.
Yeah. But
Chekhov's gun, you show a gun in the first act, it comes back in the third act.
Yeah. So they get to M Island. Well, we jump to M Island. Callisto's there. The other Frost is there, the brother, the White Bishop. And then the Marauder gets there. And they're talking like, hey, didn't Kitty tell you we're going to be a little bit late? And they're like, Kitty's not here. Kate's not here.
Yeah, they're like, what? They're like, what? Like, she should have been here by like yesterday.
Bishop gets a little bit upset about it. And it's just, he runs off to Mandaport to go figure out what's going on, while Pyro gets told to go back to Krakoa.
Pyro's still looking ridiculous with that fucking face tattoo.
I absolutely love it. I cannot.
I'm just glad they kept it.
Yeah. No, of course. I mean, technically, he could do something about it, but why? It's like, this is his new life. This is his expression. And yeah, look, he does have short hair. He has a buzz cut.
Christian,
yeah.
But I love how Calypso greets Storm.
Goddess.
That
was great.
Throws the fucking knife at her.
Throws a butterfly knife at her. She catches it, and she's like, what did she say in return? Morlock. And then they hug it out.
Yeah. Because she used to run them for a bit.
Yeah.
Which, again, leads me to believe that Callisto hasn't been around because they would have seen each other in Krakoa.
Okay.
Right, if she did come to the resurrection.
If she just came back to the resurrection protocol, she wouldn't have seen her until now.
Right. But then later on, it's shown that like the Morlocks have like their own plane.
It's not the Morlocks. When we jump to Nevada later on in the book, it's said, I'm not sure if it was an excerpt. Yeah, it was one of the excerpts. That's like a retirement community for the X-Men. That's all retirement area in Dolph.
Right.
And it's not just Morlocks that are there. They make it seem like just old retired mutants are there.
Weird. Why? I don't know. Why not just do that? You have a giant island that's ever growing. Why can't they just choose a corner?
Maybe they just want to chill somewhere normal. Like it's good Wi-Fi.
It's fine.
Hey, I'm telling you, Wi-Fi in Krakoa cannot be all that great.
No, yeah, I'm with you.
But yeah, so we get the Verendi perspective of everything, and it's them looking through Pyro's eyes because Yellow Jacket is still in his body.
Right, which shocked me.
Yeah, and then they point over to the Russian, I guess, minister. I don't know, the Russian bad person in this book. Yeah. They really don't specify who she is.
Yeah, I think you're right. She's like the ambassador. I think it was.
She's the ambassador.
Is she the one with the husband?
No, I think no. That was the Asian one from Madripoor. Madripoor. I'm sorry, I got a cough drop in my mouth.
Right.
So essentially, yeah, they're working with them together, and Bishop gets back to Madripoor. Am I pronouncing that right, Kevin?
Yeah.
And he blows everybody up, fights them, knocks them all out as he goes to.
But I love that action scene.
It was very John Wick.
It's just his hand out the gate, out the portal.
Dropping a stun grenade.
Drops a grenade, and then he enters through the gate. I thought it was so awesome.
Because he says, when I come through the door, I knock the door open.
Okay, to that point, Joe, I get that it's a comic. I just thought it was silly that he's just talking as he's fighting. I thought, okay, weird.
I think that they're also showing a little bit of the superiority of how the mutants feel in general, and I guess we'll get more into that later on. But I feel like all of them are starting to get a little more cocky with how they're acting.
Oh yeah, there's an air of arrogance since they've gotten sovereignty. Yeah.
Not just sovereignty. When you play a video game and you can restart at a respawn point, you play a little differently than if you only have one life to live. These guys can resurrect.
I get you.
At that point, a little bit of arrogance starts to come in because you're becoming immortal, essentially.
I think Bishop's always felt like that, though.
Yeah, well, while talking and being arrogant.
I mean, no, but he's always been, I'm first, whoever shoots.
Yeah, he's always,
He's always fight first, talk later. I get you.
Especially from the future that he's from.
Right.
Well, yeah, the future he's from is pretty much like the Terminator future. It's
right.
Terrible. I mean, but essentially, we see that he takes them all out. He finds a note that gives him the name of the ship. And then we see a masked agent go to enter the ship, and that's it. I'm assuming that's Bishop.
Yes.
Because they kind of didn't say who. My bad. They do show his eye with the M on it. I didn't notice that when I was reading it earlier.
And he gets some bullshit order, and they leave.
Yeah, and they all get out.
Yeah.
And then that's when we jump over to Nevada regarding the retirement home, and it's Callisto talking to another mutant there. I don't get that interaction at all.
With Mask. That's Mask.
That's Mask.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he's familiar, but I couldn't remember his name.
But I don't understand the interaction. Because they're like, we have money now. Frost bought this place. It's all chill.
I think that's just for us to understand that there's another area with mutants.
Right. She bought that area for the I keep forgetting that
Morlocks.
For the Morlocks. In case you don't want to come to Kokoro, you can stay in this little community.
Yeah, and then
she can keep a watch for
the excerpt afterwards, where it says top secret, eyes only. It's like they bought up an area that's in a retirement community. There's something else there.
And it's all for the Morlocks.
Yeah,
because they don't want to come over to Kokoro.
Well, it says mutants in general. It doesn't say maybe.
Well, it's mainly Morlocks. So
I really wonder why. I don't get it.
Remember,
again,
Morlocks and X-Men are not
super close.
They don't trust each other.
Yeah, but mainly the Brotherhood is there too.
100%.
Hellfire,
100%.
Yeah, but they're all scheming, and if you want to scheme, you got to be in the know. Maybe these guys are they're done. They're stepping out.
No, it's in the next one.
Whatever. Get to my favorite part. I love the Quiet Council meetings.
Yes, it is absolutely great, and I love Sinister. This version of Sinister has got to be my favorite.
He gives zero fucks.
Yeah, it's just about him.
I love that he abstains.
Yeah, it's like, this is the first time we actually have a deadlock. And it's like we have one missing, which is Kate.
Right.
And then Sinister's just there, they're like, and one abstained. And he's just like, well, my bad, sorry.
I just want to go back to my lab.
Exactly.
Leave me alone.
And then Frost makes a comment that, Kate said that she'd be late. And you have Shaw there like, is she now?
Yeah, fucking dead.
And you can already see the scheming, the stupid faces on them. I just want to shoot them.
I still love how Exodus looks with those fucking big-ass golden shoulder pad things.
Now, my thing is, if she is dead, if Kate is dead, she could be brought back. How do you bring?
Yeah, it ends with some, Asian.
I think it's
fishermen.
Madripoorians.
Madripoorian? Is it Madripoorian?
Madripoorian?
In Asia?
I
sure.
So are they
fisherman,
all
right?
Asian?
Fisherman, right?
Mm-hmm.
I saw it as fisherman. I don't know.
So we have fishermen out here picking up dead.
They look Asian. I assume they were Madripoorian.
Okay, either way,
Cool.
Lockheed's
I said-
being pulled up
Yeah.
from the water.
So
But we don't know alive or dead.
No, but on the next thing it says next cold snap. I'm assuming that's what Christian Frost is going to pick for his name.
Right. But my whole thing, there's no way they made a copy of Lockheed.
Well, no. It's the one because it's the one in the net.
Right, but he's probably dead.
We don't know.
if he
Why
killed
would you
him-
show a dead Lockheed?
I mean, what?
To show that he ended up in the water and was tossed around.
Yeah,
but here's the thing:
Shaw-
why can't we resurrect Lockheed?
Not a mutant
Right.
Do you need to be a mutant to be resurrected?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's
no,
the
to be
protocol.
copied.
to be
I-
copied.
I think that's the protocol.
Hey, what
No.
if Xavier did, a favor for
Kitty's
Kate?
gonna be pissed.
No, but he's not going to have any memory of who he was because it's not something that Cerebro would actively do.
Right. Yeah.
Unless Xavier actively did it, added it to the protocol.
Yeah.
Lockheed would have an original mind.
That's
The dragon.
that's a cop-out.
100% a cop out. But this might be them, removing Lockheed from the equation of Kate and
Kate's gonna be
her being
fucking mad.
a freaking savage.
My vote is Lockheed is alive.
I mean, I'm hoping.
I don't see why you would kill off such a cute and lovable
I
character.
don't know.
Yeah.
Asians will probably.
Yeah,
eat
why
it.
would you do that?
Oh my god! Did you hear Joe? Joe says they might eat it.
They do eat certain things out of delicacy.
Jeez.
I think this Corona thing
Oh,
started.
come on.
But yeah, that's the end of that issue. And it was kind of light. Nothing really happened.
What do you mean nothing really happened? Shaw's showing that he's a fucking pig.
Shaw's been showing that he's
No,
a dick.
I know, but
This whole issue was more about Callisto and her
Right.
Yeah.
taking the position.
right with
And even that was in 3 panels.
yeah, okay. That's
I
true.
don't know. It was to me, it felt kind of light, especially for all the other Marauder issues, which have been heavy on things happening.
True.
This is an information packet.
Yeah, because we're still left with the same cliffhanger from before.
I guess that's what it is. I'm waiting
Yeah,
for
we
the
don't
answer to
know-
that
we don't know where
cliffhanger.
Kate-
Right.
if
Kind of
I'm
how when Xavier got shot in the head, that we had to wait multiple issues.
In X-Force.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for it to come
And
back.
he didn't change a thing for getting shot in the head.
Yeah. But yeah, that's Marauders number. What are we on now?
So,
Seven.
Seven.
Yeah, seven.
7 issues,
No,
and I
seven.
can't believe that.
Yes.
so now we can get on to the book of the week. I don't know if Justin, you want to take it away.
I didn't read it.
Really? The
Shock.
book of the week?
Who decides it's the book of the week?
Bro.
We did.
Kevin, really?
I guess because I didn't know it was the book of the week.
Did you look at the doc?
Can you bring it
No,
up?
I don't look at the doc until the day.
All right, so then I'll just treat it as my pick.
Cheater is your pick.
The Marauders as
can
like,
tag.
well, true, yeah, because you read it too.
And
Well, and George read it too.
yeah, I'll pull up the issue.
Bro. So it's who wrote it? Yeah, Dickman.
Yeah.
You
No,
sure?
am I wrong?
No, you're wrong.
Chip Zdarsky.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Good,
Yeah.
sir. Good, sir.
Yeah, it's Chip Zdarsky's X-Men and Fantastic Four #1. This big mini crossover between the two teams, and it literally is continuing something from I think it was from Powers or from X-Men 1.
Yeah. For both.
No, I think it was
Yeah, no.
X-Men 1. House of X.
Right, it's from the House of X.
Yeah, when Cyclops promised Reed his son had a home in Kokoro.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
it
and whenever
continues.
he's ready, seen him.
So it continues from there, where they're saying that like something is happening with, especially with him, that we want to recruit him. We
Right.
want Kate's help, and it's clearly like pre-Marauders Kate, because she's
Yes.
not like in her crazy
So
Marauders
that's-
outfit.
well,
That's from X-Men versus Fantastic Four.
No,
Way back in the
but
day.
but just the artwork.
Yeah, I mean,
the
I
actual
mean the
artwork.
timing.
Yeah.
I mean the
Sorry,
timing
yeah.
of it.
Yeah,
I'll talk about
but
the-
no. They asked Kate after a Marauders mission to go do this.
Right. So okay, fine. So it's early on in the Marauders.
Yeah, it's just the artwork's really different, and
Right.
then even Pyro looks weird, and he doesn't
Yeah.
have his tattoos. Kate doesn't have her tattoos.
Right.
It's a callback because of her relationship with
Franklin.
Franklin.
Yeah.
From a comic book that's like way
X-Men
back.
versus-
Yeah, from like the 90s.
Right.
Yeah. Fantastic Four versus X-Men, 1989. I
I
think
don't
it said it
remember,
was.
but I remember their little hug or whatever.
But no, I'm just saying though. But in the book itself, this does take place after she becomes
Right.
the leader of the Marauders.
Mhm.
Right, because he called
But-
her captain.
She does look different. Like the
Right.
artwork is another Marauder, so you can
Yeah.
kind of tell there's not a whole lot
Right.
of working together on this one.
Yeah, a lot of continuity.
Continuity. That's the word I was looking for. Everyone looks different. Even Bishop looks different.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, so the X-Men essentially recruit her so we could go recruit Franklin,
Right.
or at least talk to Reed. And then Reed is a fucking asshole in this issue, and I think it's fucking hilarious.
Yes.
Like,
Reed as a parent.
But it's funny how like he's more of an asshole the more he tries to be a good father. Like the more he tries, the worse it is.
Basic stereotype.
Yeah, I find that so funny. So and the entire stuff of them talking and the entire thing with Fantastic Four, this entire issue, is just Reed trying to discover what is causing Franklin's powers to diminish.
Right.
The more he uses his powers, the more he's losing.
Which has been happening since Fantastic Four #1.
Yes, well, supposedly before that, but
but that's when we started knowing.
right.
About
So
it.
then another infographic here, continuing, the powers and House of X and Dawn of X books and stuff like that. The infographic is that Reed is trying to prove this theory that this one scientist had of every meta human on Earth is the source from their energies or the energy source of their powers is this like
God type person.
right. This like
God
God. Yeah, he calls it like the God.
God.
It's not God particle.
God power theory.
God power theory,
Hey.
right? Where essentially, if you really read it between the lines of this theory, it's essentially dark matter, where it's this anti-energy around them.
It's them retconning the cosmic rays thing.
No. They still say that they get cosmic rays, but what feeds their powers?
Right. Is that why don't they need? Why don't they need more energy?
Energy has to be.
Yeah, it's still retconning the original creation of the characters. It's them setting up the movie is what they're doing.
Well, but and then not even cosmic rays. It also talks about all superheroes.
Yeah, it says all
are
meta
powered by
humans.
all metas. Not just metas. All powers.
Yeah, metas. Yeah.
I could have said metas. Whatever.
No, they called mutants.
It does. He at least specifies that it is the Fantastic Four ones, and that something has happened to Franklin's where his connection to that power source, God,
because he was born mutant.
Franklin was born a mutant.
Right.
His parents were just
right, but they're explaining away that he's maybe not fully immune because this connection is lost.
Correct.
For whatever reason. So he's trying to figure out why. First of all, the existence of this source, the existence of a connection, and the reason why it would be disconnected, and then how to reinstate it. And of course, in typical teenage fashion, Franklin's mad that you're not doing everything all that you could. But I love the heart-to-heart he has with Ben.
Yeah.
Bro, and Ben is,
being the godfather.
Yeah, being the godfather he is, being the good uncle. He's defending Reed or whatever. And Franklin is like, you don't get it. He resolves every problem for everyone. Except the two people that supposedly mean the most to him, but also are the most beneficial that we have our powers.
Yeah. It's really dark when you think about it.
And and Ben is quiet in one panel.
Yeah.
Well, I had to stop reading. I was like, yo, where is this book going?
Well, you got to remember, too, because Ben can relate to that. Because, he resolves everything, but he still hasn't figured out how to change Ben back to human.
Right. But what does Ben say to him? If he is hiding the way to fix us, that they'll come after him.
Which is why he wouldn't hide it. Because
basically I'll come after Reed if he does know how to fix me, he doesn't tell me. Whoa.
But that does seem like something Reed would do.
Yes.
He would we can't lose this.
And it comes back at the end of the issue.
Yeah.
So the whole confrontation with the X-Men, they try to talk to him. Of course, it gets out of hand. So, typical versus fight ensues or whatever. In case hey, kid, let's get the fuck out of here. So they just leave and they're just talking or whatever, catching up. And, of course, the X-Men catch up with them.
And the Fantastic.
Especially Sue, losing her mind. They're like, you kidnapped my fucking kid, this and that, whatever. So, again, it's versus fight, part 2 or whatever. Now in the third act, but it's just funny how I'm breezing past all the action because all the commentary is much more interesting.
Yes, 100%.
Especially with Franklin. Franklin is his POV.
Yeah,
well, he is conflicted of do I want to join the mutants and go on to Krakoa or stay with my family, but I'm also a Fantastic Four member.
Right.
I should be with my parents. But I'm in this phase where I'm rebelling and my dad's not really doing everything that he could to get back my powers, or am I a depowered mutant? So he's having literally a crisis of identity.
Which is interesting that he would have that problem because it seems like, at least for the first 6 issues of the Fantastic Four book, it's every time they wanted to do something, they're like, no, you stay here. So, okay, he's not technically part of the Fantastic Four. They never want him to do anything.
I took it as they're just being parents. They don't want their kids.
Yeah, but
in danger.
how can somebody who sits there and goes, who constantly is trying to go off with their parents and do things, and they're being told you can't go. How could that person consider themselves part of a team?
I mean, that's what this is.
He's born into it.
He's climaxed. You get me? Like it's damn. What's the word?
They show like
It's built up to
too.
this, where he's rebelling against them and
Yeah.
contemplating maybe I should just leave and join
Yeah.
Neo's on Krakoa. But the pin on that is I'm depowered. So I'm going to go on an island with powered people and be depowered and not do anything?
Well, I think he was hoping they could fix him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
To me, that's what I
that.
really enjoyed, that he's also thinking of as like, I could have a solution there.
But
So I love in the ensuing fight, he runs towards a gate.
Yeah.
And of course, Sue is losing her mind, trying to, held off like Magneto and the X-Men and whatever the fuck. And he runs through the gate. And he just goes through it, like physically. And he's like, what does this mean?
Worse than Kate.
Yeah.
Kate got blocked.
Yeah, he just walks past it.
Yeah, he walks past it. And then Reed is like, when we were experimenting trying to find your thing, I thought this would happen. I'm dampening your powers in the
Your
DNA,
gene.
the X gene in your
the
DNA.
mutant, right.
That where it got me. This issue got me. I was like, oh, we're gonna treat him as an asshole father.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, this is awesome.
But I think Xavier should have came to Sue that way. Look, we could fix your son. Not
No,
He
no.
belongs here.
But
that goes to what George was saying.
He did it on purpose to cause the
Xavier
confrontation.
knew the problem in the beginning. He's being
No,
depowered.
he knows that there's a problem with Franklin.
Yeah, but he doesn't know how to fix
He doesn't
it.
know how to fix
Well,
it.
bring him to us and we'll try to fix it.
No,
Right.
But
Right.
I want
Sue can
to
say
make it-
we're trying to fix it.
No, I like George's point of like the mutants on Krakoa have become so fucking
That's true.
egotistical.
That's true.
They think that we can just
Big
walk in
head.
and be like, "Hey,
Yeah.
we got an island for you. You're gonna join us, right?"
We have a house for you.
Magneto's
Right.
saying it's your birthright. They're talking about how they're the evolved species.
Yeah.
Reed's like, you can't think you're better than us. And they're like, we are. We're
Yeah,
evolved.
It's
Like,
awesome.
It's really
so awesome.
egotistical. And then Xavier plays these mind games to cause Sue to get mad
Yeah.
and to cause her to start like
Yeah.
force fielding. I forgot.
Magneto.
No, not just Magneto. Like
She took him in a bubble.
straight up, and just in their apartment, where when they were just talking, she just instantly. I
It was
forgot who
Magneto.
it was. Was it? Yeah, Magneto. She puts him in a
Magneto. Of course
ball,
it was Magneto.
and they're like, "Don't escalate things." And it's like, so just put him in a force field ball, and he's hovering 10 feet in the air, and we're the ones escalating this.
Right.
And Xavier's really playing the mental game on here.
So
To the
by the
point where
time
they
it's got
confront.
into that fight in the park, and then Franklin goes through the gate. Well, doesn't actually.
Tries to.
And then Reed says this, crazy revelation where I love Charles's reaction to it. He goes, "Well, it seems like you've done
Yeah,
the
you
worst.
did our work for us.
He will eventually come to us."
Right.
Well, that's what Reed had said like a few panels beforehand. He's like, time would have resolved this. Franklin would have become of age. He would have been able to go do what he wanted. And at the end of that fight, where Franklin walks through the gate, Xavier's just like, yeah, I guess time will resolve this.
Yeah.
Because he knows that Franklin's already just PO'd.
And then they just leave. They're like, "Peace out." They're like, "All right, drop the mic here because you fucked up." And Sue is really fucking mad too. And imagine what Franklin feels. So I love
Betrayed.
So I really like. To me, the best dynamic was Franklin and Valeria.
Yeah.
Because she's super opinionated, super smart, and
Yeah.
you think she'd be,
Fucking love Larry.
bro. She's awesome. You think she would be defending Reed? She's like the daddy's little
Mhm.
girl, but no,
No.
she's like, what Dad did was fucked up.
Yep.
You should leave.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm coming too. And he's like, no, you're not. She goes, an island full of powered people. Fuck yeah, I'm
I'm
going.
going.
But I love how when they're in his room and he's like, yeah, Dad put a dampener on my gene. He put trackers in us, which is apparently a college something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know
And
that.
Val's just like, yeah, parents do that type of stuff. And kids rebel. There's ways to get around trackers. There's ways to do this. And I'm like, yeah, that's a good sister.
Yeah.
But I always thought Val was also a mutant.
No.
No.
She's just
She's
smart.
not-
She's
Yeah.
just
Smart.
the smartest freaking
Mhm.
human
Yeah.
on the planet.
Yeah, she inherited Reed's.
Super smartness,
Yeah,
which is not a power. It's just
No,
being
yeah.
super
no,
duper
Reed was
smart.
just always really smart.
Yeah, it's a little
and,
ridiculous that
and
she's not.
believe it or not, Valeria is smarter than he is.
Yeah, he said that in one of the Fantastic Four issues.
She just doesn't have the experience
Yeah.
that he does.
But then at the end, just before the end, where they end up on the Marauder, there's a really good scene that Kevin was talking about with Ben,
Yeah.
and
gave it to him.
Ben's like, "You royally screwed up."
Yep.
And he just
And I
it's a
love
really
he
tender
brings
moment.
up the chat with Franklin. He goes, I was defending you,
Mhm.
but you messed it up.
It's really hard to defend you. And I'm
Yeah.
like, damn, that's like his best friend telling him, Stop screwing up, please.
No. But I love on the Marauder, of course.
Yeah.
They get intercepted by Doom.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and you know what's funny? What he's using reminds me so much of Dr. Octopus, those arms.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
I was like, why would Doom have that?
Why wouldn't he?
Oh, good point.
Yeah.
Doom has everything.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, so
But I like the way he stopped. It's so random, as if they're the target. I'm assuming he is. I mean, Franklin Valero is the target on the Marauder for Doom.
yeah,
Because Doom is like, "Where's your father?" I was like, "Oh,
Back at home.
all right."
yeah, he's like, the children of Xavier, and where's your father? And the next panel is just them two. I'm not a whole lot fond of the artwork in this. I guess because
It's weird.
I'm really used to the Marauders and how Fantastic
Yeah.
Four is drawing each one of their set
you
characters.
think he tracked them?
Yeah, of course.
So
No, he didn't even track them. I bet the whole thing about refugee mutants out in the middle of the ocean was all faked by him
True.
Yeah, to get them.
to get.
But
them
then, but how would he know Franklin and Valerio would be on it?
It's Doom.
honestly,
God damn it.
Honestly, yeah. He was probably monitoring all of this from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
We'll see. Next issue.
I dug it enough. That I'm like, I'm gonna keep reading
No,
it.
man.
This is a mini.
Yeah, I think it's only gonna be 5.
5,
Okay.
yeah.
5. This was issue number 1.
Oh, the director's cut that we have has a lot of little extras.
Yeah.
I think you got some crow and plant that he's holding.
Yeah. I think I'm willing to bet it will somehow end with Franklin being on Krakoa.
Yeah,
I can see it.
100%.
I can see it. I've always wanted him to be around more mutants anyway. Since
Yeah.
he is mutant. Like I always thought that was.
Well, he has the coolest fucking power. He
Yeah.
can create universes.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's one
Can you
aspect
imagine
of
him in
his
his
power.
Right.
X-Men suit?
It
Give him the
wasn't him.
yellow. Give him the yellow and black.
And he was flying earlier in the issue because when
Yeah.
Kitty and him leave, he grabs Kitty and they fly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, he still has enough power.
Yeah, because the whole thing is that like he could manipulate
Right.
like cosmic energies.
Right. Remember,
The universe itself.
Remember, he could create planets.
Right.
Universes.
He's,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
planets,
he's,
universes.
he's an Omega, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
He's
yeah.
a- he's
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
Omega.
Yeah, they mentioned
Xavier
that.
mentions that
Yeah.
he's an Omega.
So supposedly, well, not supposedly. That's like in the book. It's explained. That's the main reason why they want to recruit him. Like,
Yeah.
go out of their way to recruit him. They want all Omega mutants to be on
Right.
Krakoa and on the same alliance as them.
Right.
Which
Yeah,
means something big's gonna happen.
Pun intended. They can't have a rogue
Falling asleep.
Omega X-Men out there. Bro, I want him in an X-Men outfit. That'd be dope.
Can you imagine that's how it ends?
Oh, and Kevin, to your point earlier, when it comes to the power that powers people, the God power theory, they mentioned that it's for super powered people, superhumans. That's it. It doesn't say humans,
Metas,
cosmic, metas, anything. It's just anyone who has superhuman
Superpowers.
abilities.
Okay.
Which makes sense because energy cannot be
So it
created,
does
destroyed,
extend past
transferred.
the Fantastic Four.
Okay.
So it powers them, it powers mutant powers, it powers everything.
But then Justin has a good point. This could be a cool retcon for like let's say the MCU.
Them setting it up.
Or just giving cosmic powers. Who cares?
Because
don't
you have to
I
explain.
think there's.
A solar flare? Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, I don't see why that wouldn't work.
Yeah, remember the normies don't
Thor
read the
exists.
comics.
I think you can do cosmic flare.
Yeah, but they did kind of go out of their way to change Thor a little bit to make it so that it could be believable.
Yeah, that he's essentially an alien.
Yeah.
And that his
Before that, he
magic
was
is just
a
ours.
god.
It's just science.
No, that's
I
fair.
honestly always loved that explanation for Thor. That, science that's so advanced, so it's like magic to normal people.
Yeah, but that's always been a theory, even to, we go back in time and show cavemen what we can do. You're going to be
Right.
considered magics.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Grandmaster Wizard.
Yeah. But
But
it's them setting it. To me, it's them setting up a world where, because before you could say, "Oh, radiation gave Spider-Man his powers." Now everybody knows radiation kills you. So it's like, well, how did he get around that? So they kind of have to dance around because
He's
everybody's
still-
a nitpicker
He still gets bit
nowadays.
by the spider, though.
Yeah, but if
It's
you notice, they didn't go into his origin, and I think that worked out in their favor because
Yeah,
a lot of
true,
people were
true.
saying they didn't want to go into the origin.
It
But
went
at the
both ways. We
same
don't
time,
need
it
to
goes,
see that.
oh, saves us from having to
For
explain
sure,
that.
for sure. Yeah.
And it's, you can't get away with what you used to be able to get away with. There's a lot of nitpickers. I've been listening to them for 2 weeks now on Picard because of all the shit that's happening on that show.
Really?
So yeah,
I mean, that's the internet.
I'm enjoying this show.
yeah, well, no, I love the show. It's just you got people out there that are just decided that I'm going to pick at every little
Right.
tiny string I can
Right.
possibly find because I have access to the internet, and people have to listen to what I have to say.
Trent Suicide's been around too long to change it.
Yeah. Before and like you said, even Stan Lee admits that when he created a lot of his characters, it's like, look, radiation, cosmic rays, all that shit was like mysterious, sciencey, magic things that we could say whatever could do whatever. Now we know a lot more. We know that a cosmic ray from space will kill you. Yeah. We know that a radiation will kill you. So you can't just write that off. You have to give a more in-depth explanation, explain why. Yeah. That's why they retconned Spider-Man and Ultimate Spider-Man. It wasn't just radiation; it was a genetically engineered fighter that had been exposed and this, and you have to explain. Yeah, and you almost have to over-explain something so that somebody can dumb it down.
Yeah.
Or just do the Rise of Skywalker thing and don't explain it at all.
That's always an option.
That's true.
That's always an option.
It's true.
It always comes back to Rise of Skywalker, huh?
Hey, say what you want, but apparently Rise of Skywalker is giving a lot of people a chance to reevaluate Last Jedi. I was reading about that today. People are going back to Last Jedi going, maybe it wasn't so bad.
It was great.
Well, I loved it. All those people that were saying that movie was shit are now going back on,
change their mind.
I still can't believe Dominic Monaghan was casted in a role that literally just gave us non-exposition. Like, it was exposition that was just inexplicable.
The Falcon's here.
Sidious is back because Sith and dark science and the like.
They cast
I like how in 7 no one remember Luke and everyone was like myths, but they knew who Sidious was.
Yeah, right.
What was it called? They cast him in a role and stuck him next to the character that should have been saying his line.
Yeah.
A normal guy knowing who Sidious was, that annoyed me. He's like, yeah, the Emperor.
That was like they created like so many extra characters that just could have been Rose.
No, Rose had to stay and do egological stuff.
I'm gonna study some papers.
Yeah, I gotta study the canons.
Okay.
I realized between both movies that I want nothing to do with this, so I'm not going to do it.
That's exactly how the actress felt. Like, oh, you guys want me back?
I got a lot of hate from that last movie. You got to make it worth my while. You're not going to say a word.
And JJ talked really good about her, and then he still didn't do it.
Right?
I mean, to be honest, she probably didn't want to be in there too much, or if at all. She got a lot of backlash.
You got to get that check, man.
Get that check.
Make that money.
Yeah, I'm sure she got paid.
They're gonna hate regardless. You may as well make the money.
Well, she still had a contract.
Yeah.
She got a lot of hate.
That money.
Yeah, undeserved. Like, it was
really undeserved. Why are you upset at a character in the movie and giving shit to the actress?
They were upset for John Boyega because he was black and a stormtrooper.
That's so dumb.
Remember that?
You're right.
Yeah.
God,
they blew the fuck up. Who cares?
No, they were upset that Rey could fight with a weapon that was shaped like a sword, like a stick. Even though she fought with a really, really long stick.
Listen, bro.
Okay, hey, moving on.
I don't know to what else. I actually want to get your best of stuff. if you didn't have that.
You could give me a heads up?
Well, that was supposed to be last episode, motherfucker.
I forgot. I had to remember for that episode.
This is George's best of at 0 speed.
So what, best of 2019?
Yeah, what was your favorite comic? What was your favorite TV show? What's your favorite movie?
Favorite comic was Batman 50-something when Nightwing got shot in the head.
Was that last year? No way.
Was that last year?
No, it was the year before, man.
Was it year before? Oh, dang.
When he was still Dick, not Rick.
Yeah, well, yeah. Bamboozled.
So what? Just say Nightwing's run so far.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
The worst of the year has probably been Nightwing's run.
Yeah, that was.
Nightwing's finally getting better after like 20 issues.
So what? Just Powers of X.
Yeah, the X-Men reboot, I would say, would definitely be high up on the list, just because it made X-Men accessible to me.
Yeah.
And then Marauders started last year, so I would say Marauders is absolutely fantastic. Kate, I love Kate's character, how she is right now. And I love pirates, so I'm like, yeah, swashbuckling. Have a barrel full of swords in your room. Do it.
They really need Nightcrawler on the Marauder.
He's the best swashbuckler, and they don't have him on there.
He's dealing with a pirate sword. He has a legit pirate sword.
Right, and he teleports. Isn't that great to get refugees out? No, whatever. I'm not getting into this.
Listen.
Make me upset.
All right.
What was the next category?
Show or movie?
TV
Whichever
show
one you want to go.
TV show.
I'm really happy. No, wait, was that? No, that Picard was this year, right?
This year.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Your Witcher.
What?
No?
Witcher was last year. You're correct. Witcher was great. It's just I watched it so quickly. One night I saw the whole thing. Yeah, and that's coming back this year. But yeah, Witcher was probably top tier. Got me some good fantasy.
Is it this year?
This year, yeah. It's coming back this year. Mandalorian's coming back this year too.
Yeah, but they've been shooting. I ain't heard shit about Witcher.
Witcher just started.
Okay.
But I don't think it'll be released this year.
Disney
They're going for the end of the year or very beginning, depending on where it goes.
Yeah.
But they're shooting for this year.
You're at least going to get that animated movie, I think, this year, though.
We do get the White Wolf animation thing that's going on.
Which is what, Vesemir or whatever?
Yep. Which is his teacher. And then movie. Man, there were so many good movies last year.
Endgame.
A lot of good movies last year.
It's just Endgame is. I feel like it's.
That's what we all said. We were all like, that's like default favorite. So we,
yeah,
we
it really is.
We each have to pick like a personal one.
I don't even remember what I picked now. To be honest with you.
There were
Oh, Joker. I picked Joker.
And I was stuck between Knives Out and Us.
Yeah.
You know what? For someone who doesn't like scary movies, I do not like scary movies at all.
I'm in the same.
Although all my exes do, so I guess that's why it didn't work out. Us was absolutely fantastic. I would watch a scary movie if it's a good concept, and that movie's concept and the twist that it had, the fight scenes, the goriness and not so goriness, depending on what you were looking at, how dark it all was. It was great. Cinematography was.
It's
great.
a low-key sci-fi movie.
Yeah. Like it gets you at the end. Like, okay,
It's so
sci-fi.
weird. It's like it's a
sprinkle
sci-fi
it in.
movie. It's a sci-fi movie, like under a mask of like we're a thriller.
Yeah. Oh, you know what was also a good show last year? Watchmen.
Fuck yeah, that was mine.
That was yours. Good pick.
I was between
Sci-fi.
that and Chernobyl.
Oh, that's right. You did watch Chernobyl.
That was incredible.
I don't want to see people getting irradiated. So
I don't know.
Not my thing.
Yeah, I'm actually really interested in your best of.
I didn't get into Chernobyl because like I got it. I got it. Like I didn't need to see it.
But what were your best of the year? Comics, show, and movie.
Well, a movie was Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh, Joker was last year too.
Yeah.
TV show's tough. I'm gonna say Barry, but I'm gonna give a shout
Barry
out.
season 2 was incredible.
It was amazing. But I'm gonna give a shout out to.
They had that
Euphoria.
Ronnie Lilly's episode. That was insane.
Yeah, I'm gonna give a shout out to Euphoria, and
Nice.
I'm gonna give. There's something else I watched last year too. I didn't watch much TV. It was pretty much all movies for me last year. But yeah, I'll say Barry's my pick, and then Euphoria. And Fleabag.
Fleabag was great.
Fleabag was great.
Yeah.
Fleabag was really, really good. And comic. Obviously, House of X, Powers of X, but I'm going to pick Brian K. Vaughan and Cliff Chang's Paper Girls.
Okay. I remember you've been writing hard on that one.
It finished last year, and it was...
So it's a good conclusion.
It's amazing.
Nice.
Yeah, it's perfect. I love it.
I barely started...
That'd be my pick.
I think I remember getting volume 1 and I barely started it, and then I was like, okay, I'll just wait.
Yeah.
And I've waited beyond the point of like, fuck, I've waited too long, and now it's done.
You can collect it now, and they're getting Amazon bought them to make a TV show out of it. So
true, cool. I mean, I heard the same thing about East of West, and then that fell apart last year.
Yeah.
It happens.
Oh.
Things always fall apart, come together. You know, it's different.
East of West is a little high concept.
Yeah.
Fuck it, but look
Super
at them.
concept.
But look at Amazon now doing this prequel series to Middle Earth.
That's where all the money's going.
And the Wheel of Time. Fantasy's in, bro.
And Paper Girls kind of fills that Stranger Things mold, so that can kind of fit there. Obviously, they got The Boys with their superhero shit.
Yeah.
So all the streaming services are trying to match everyone else. So, what else am I missing?
That's
it. Okay,
got
yeah.
Oh, Mandalorian was last year too.
Yeah, Mandalorian was great. That's another one. Honorable mention to Mandalorian.
You're trying not to pick like the obvious ones.
Right.
Yeah.
You're trying to go for something that maybe somebody hadn't seen, like what we could recommend.
For sure.
You know?
Yeah, almost a recommendation
Yeah.
and what you liked.
Because when we did the most anticipated, I unfortunately had the two most anticipated things for me were Picard and Fuller Comic, which are both out already. So it's like I can't really say, I'm anticipating.
Oh yeah, most anticipated. As far as comic, honestly, it's more Hickman because I fucking love Jonathan Hickman.
He's coming over another Image book.
Yeah,
The
Quorum.
Quorum.
He is doing Giant X-Men.
Yeah, he's doing Giant X-Men, and he's doing it with
X-Men.
Russell Donovan. So I'm like, don't get any better than that. For
Another
me.
X-Men book.
So So yeah, that'd be most anticipated. Yeah, and then there's a shit ton of movies.
Of course, I mostly went with like sci. I think all my picks are sci-fi.
Yeah.
Because comic was Strange Adventures.
Mm-hmm.
Show was Devs by Alex Garland.
Yep.
And then movie,
man,
I was between Denis Villeneuve's Dune and Christopher Nolan's Tenet. So it's all sci-fi picks.
Yeah.
For a movie, I definitely am gonna say Dune. That looks so good, and like what people are saying about it.
We haven't seen anything.
It sounds so good. What people are saying.
At 0 speed, looks great.
It's not at 0 speed. This is on 2 speed.
He's already there. He's already seen the movie. He's reviewed it. It's out.
Altered Carbon for show season 2.
Yeah,
that looks
starring Mackie, right?
Yeah. To be honest, I'm looking forward to that and the Falcon and Winter Soldier
for sure.
But of course, we're trying to go with not necessarily primary picks.
Obvious.
I'd say for TV, Fargo. They're bringing that back, starring Chris Rock, which I'm excited for.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. I saw that trailer. It was fire.
Yeah, that'll be my most anticipated for TV. And then for movie, we'll go a little bit off book. Besides the obvious, there's a movie by the name of Without Remorse. It's going to be starring Michael B. Jordan and Jodie Turner-Smith from Queen and Slim.
Oh, okay.
And it's you guys saw Sicario and Wind River and what's the other one he did? Hell or High Water. So there's a writer by the name of Taylor Sheridan.
Yes,
he wrote all
Taylor
of those.
Sheridan. Yeah.
So Without Remorse is his movie. He's writing and directing.
As soon as you said those three, the only connective tissue there is a writer.
Yeah. So he's directing and writing. And starring Michael B. Jordan and Jodie Turner-Smith.
Oh, okay.
I'm all in.
That skyrocketed for me, man. That's awesome.
And apparently it's I think his wife gets murdered and he's an ex-military something, but there's also a bigger conspiracy as he's trying to figure out his
revenge too.
Yep.
Fuck yeah.
So as soon as I saw that, I was like, I'm all in.
Justin, did you ever see Hell or High Water?
I saw Hell or High Water.
Oh, it's great.
How awesome was that fucking movie?
Fucking love it.
And that script was incredible.
Yeah.
You don't remember it, or you don't?
I don't remember liking
it.
Like
wow.
It didn't hit me as well as everybody else.
Man. And then
this is the one I'm thinking.
And his Sicario script was only elevated even better by Denis Villeneuve. Oh my god!
I didn't even see Sicario.
And then Hell or High Water was his directorial debut.
Yeah,
he wrote and directed that one, and that's Jeremy Renner and Elizabeth.
I remember he won Best Script.
I believe was it for Sicario?
For Hell or High Water.
Oh, was it Hell or High? Yes. Okay.
Hell or High Water won Best Original Script. No, adapted because that was a book.
Yeah, it was a book. Mm-hmm. And I believe Without Remorse is a book as well that he's adapted.
That's dope, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's
I think with Hell or High Water, I ran into my Jeff Bridges block. I love Jeff Bridges, but lately he's been employing these lazy lip way of talking. I can't get past it.
I needed subtitles just for him and Ben Foster.
Ben Foster's so good.
I was so happy when Tron, the Tron movie came out where he wasn't speaking that way. I was like, oh, he can speak normally. He's just being an asshole.
Yeah, he didn't have a seizure. He's okay.
You know what I did a couple weeks back? I watched Iron Man for the first time in a long time.
The first Iron Man?
Yeah. It's been so long since I've seen that fucking movie.
It was on TV the other day. I was at a friend's house and it was playing, and I was like, huh. I started sitting down and watching it, and I was like,
I do really like this movie.
The only thing that it's fucking great. Only thing that takes me out is Terrence Howard.
Yeah,
it just takes me out of it. I just don't. I'm not the biggest fan of him as an actor, it's like.
To me, there's something about him that always sounds like he's about to cry.
That's Terrence Howard.
He puts that face.
That's Terrence Howard.
It's the face, yeah.
He's just
it's the voice too. The voice, it's the combo. The combination of the face of the voice. It's.
I didn't even think they had like good chemistry together.
I didn't think so either.
So I'm glad.
I'm glad.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to say I'm glad that he was fired or not brought back, but
he removed himself.
But because I remember he was asking for more money than Robert Downey Jr. And it's like, dude.
Well, apparently, according to him, it was Robert Downey Jr. that got him boosted because Robert Downey Jr. opted to take the money that we were going to give him for himself.
Oh, good on Robert Downey Jr. Because Don Cheadle's a better pick.
And the chemistry is better.
Yes. Yeah, Sarah Finn is the casting director for all the MCU movies. He rarely misses. That was a miss. Terrence Howard was a miss.
It's also the first one.
Right, fair enough.
I still think
Getting her
that
feet wet.
it's crazy how much lightning in the bottle that she's casted with literally all the Avengers.
Mhm.
But the perfect timing of Chris Pratt as Star-Lord before he got crazy stardom was amazing.
Because what was it in only 0 to 30 prior?
He was still
outside
fat.
of Andy Dwyer.
Yeah, he was still fat there.
Right,
Like he was still thick, not fat.
Right.
Most people don't even remember he was in Moneyball.
He wasn't. Oh shit.
Damn.
That's another one.
People don't remember Chris Pratt in
Pitch
Wanted.
the one for that one. To be honest.
People don't remember Chris Pratt in Wanted.
Chris Pratt was in Wanted?
He was in Wanted.
That's right. He was a jerk.
Yeah, he was the guy fucking his girlfriend.
Yeah, that's right. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
Star Lord
hilarious.
was fucking Professor X's girlfriend.
Yeah.
They probably locked him. In
Rose Byrne.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Wow.
I forgot that too.
Yeah, that's who it is.
It was Moira.
She plays Moira. Yeah. She plays
He
Moira.
literally fucked Professor X's girlfriend.
Yeah, right. He really has.
Wow, this really went around.
He really has nothing here. I mean, he's got. Wow.
Who, Pratt?
Pratt, yeah. He's got Everwood.
Mm.
Yeah, his movie
Parks and Rec.
stuff is not a lot. Yeah,
Yeah,
Parks and Rec.
Wanted.
That's what I'm saying. Star-Lord is what started him on this crazy path.
Star
And
Lord
of
is.
course,
That
Marvel
and
diet.
that and Jurassic World. Like the
Yeah.
combination.
Yeah, but that
of
was
But
way
it was
that after,
first.
though.
True.
It was
But
that's
Jurassic
what I'm
World was
saying,
such a hit.
They
It
snagged him
blew it up
so
even more.
early.
Yeah.
The same thing with Drax. His career was going nowhere.
Yeah, Batista he was in Scorpion King 3.
Yeah.
We don't talk about that.
Yeah. Wrestlers always try to make it in there. Not all of them have
you
the same
follow in the
success
Rock's
as the way.
footsteps and then you break out. You know,
John Cena's been trying for a while.
Oh wow.
I think he's made it though. I think Cena's made it though now. Not yet?
I see.
No,
he's getting there. He's trying.
Cena gets in movies, but I think once he gets in movies, he kind of forgets he's in movies.
Yeah.
Because his acting is just.
No, but when he's comedic, he's really fucking funny.
I think that's
You-
what I'm
you-
thinking.
You can only bear it for one movie, though. I mean, when
He was
in,
the weed dealer in Sisters.
Sisters.
He was a weed dealer.
He was a drug dealer in
He was
Sisters. It was hilarious.
The dad and cockblockers, which is
a dad and
hysterical.
Cop He's great in Trainwreck. He's funny as hell in Trainwreck.
That's the one I'm thinking of.
Oh
yes.
Yeah.
He's great in Cop Blockers.
Sisters is the one the girls
Tina
from SNL,
Fey.
Tina Fey.
I think that was his first starring one, or was he starring or supporting in that?
He was supporting.
Okay, yeah.
He started in a few.
Okay,
side
look. Well,
movies.
I'm basing this off of I really wanted him to do because I saw the
Right.
Marine,
Mhm.
I saw the
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the
but then when he was in Bumblebee, which I really liked
I
Bumblebee,
did. I really love Bumblebee.
but he was the worst thing about Bumblebee.
I didn't think he was that bad.
His
I felt like that's what they
acting-
wanted him to do.
His acting was just so off in that
Yeah.
movie. It really pulled me out of the film.
Especially when you put him next to Haley Steinfeld.
That worries me because I get what you're saying from only seeing the trailer. Surprisingly, I still haven't seen Bumblebee yet. But then now
Bumblebee's
watching the fucking Fast and Furious 9 trailer, he looks like he's taking that movie way too seriously.
Yeah,
And then his introduction as he's Dominic Toretto's brother that we've never fucking heard of.
like
is
well, that's
beyond
which is an
that's this
interesting.
franchise.
Well, here's the thing. That's an interesting concept that they would do that, considering that Dominic Toretto's one word that he says in every movie is family.
Right.
So it's like family, except for that guy.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
fuck that guy.
I mean, maybe it's that long lost stepbrother. His dad fucked some other chick, and that's
Half-brother.
half brother, whatever it is.
Whatever, man.
Yeah, I heard a rumor that they're only going to 10 movies. Is that true, Kevin?
Well, 10 movies, but they're splitting 10 into 2.
Into 2 parts.
Oh, so we're doing a Harry Potter thing.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Fucking crazy. They're going to space. Probably.
To go to space.
I mean, that's why they tapped the rocket to that little.
Bro, wait.
Yo, 9 is going to make $1 billion. I'm just
Joe,
warning you guys.
Joe.
That's the thing.
It's
We
going
have
to
to
make $1
bet
billion.
this. We have to bet this right now on the fucking podcast.
Yeah.
Which franchise goes to space first? Mission Impossible or Fast and Furious?
Mission Impossible.
I say Fast and
Really? I say Fast and Furious.
I say Fast and Furious, but Tom Cruise will man the spaceship that goes into space in Mission Impossible.
Oh, if
Mission
you know,
Impossible's been close, though, because isn't it?
They do an
The Halo drop.
Yeah, it's the Halo drop. Yeah,
The Halo
so
drop.
he's close.
Yeah.
He's been close.
the only
He's in
reason why I say
space.
Mission Impossible is because it makes more sense for Mission Impossible
True.
to go to space.
True.
But what I'm thinking is like I would bet hard money that somehow Tom Cruise ends up in the Fast and Furious franchise. Like if you were to tell me tomorrow that he's in that movie, I'm like,
Jesus,
of course he is.
I'm
Why
out.
would
Wait,
he be?
well,
They're the bad guy.
didn't Ryan Reynolds get introduced in Hobbs and Shaw?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can see it.
Like
I can see it.
I can honestly say it's like in Fast and Furious 10. It's like, and then Tom Cruise joins the family. It's
He's
like,
a better bet.
yeah, he's a Brian's
I think he's too
brother or
stuck
something
up
like
to,
that.
to act alongside those
Or
actors.
father.
I don't think so.
You know what,
He
I
did
don't-
Tropic Thunder.
Yeah, that's
And he
true.
was great.
Who? What are we talking about?
He's saying that Tom Cruise is too stuck up to be in Fast
No,
and Furious.
no.
No way.
What comes
He does like Control though.
Himself now.
He does like Control.
He produces all his stuff,
and he's basically co-directing most of those with Christopher.
You know, I'll bet you right now, one of those movies will go to space before New Gods gets made.
Oh man, that's it. We're in it there. Jesus Christ. Oh my God, Joe!
Joe kicks us in the nuts right before the end of the show.
I didn't kick you in the nuts. Warner Brothers kicks you in the nuts.
But you're the only one that's saying that movie's not going to get made.
It's not going to get made.
All right, can we end it there, please?
Okay.
There's nothing we can say after that.
All right. Well, we'll review Picard next week. We'll review 2 episodes next week.
Are you guys seeing Sonic?
I am.
I think I'm going to give it a shot just because.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They worked hard on that, man. I'm going to give them my money.
Yeah.
They worked really hard.
I'm not lying. I wasn't interested before.
Really?
I wasn't either.
I figured I'd go and just see Jim Carrey because I thought he was good in the first trailer.
I like Ben Schwartz.
Yeah.
And apparently this is kind of Jim Carrey's return to being Jim Carrey.
It looks
so
he
that's
looked like he was having a good time. I was like, I'd see Carrey, even though Sonic looked like shit.
So I'm going to give it a shot.
So we're going to review that? Okay.
I don't know if we need to review it.
Yeah, we probably need to review it.
That one I'm not going to mind spoilers.
Yeah, right.
You don't want to.
Do we think it's going to make more money than Birds of Prey?
Oh, yeah.
I don't think so.
God. 100%.
I don't think so.
100%.
I don't think so.
I think it would.
I don't think so.
What was Birds of Prey? 34?
32.
32?
Yeah.
This will be
Okay,
like
Sonic.
56.
Let's see Sonic.
Sonic
On
will be 56.
Valentine's weekend.
We're saying opening weekend?
Opening weekend.
Okay.
I think opening weekend. No,
I don't know. I don't think it's going to beat it.
We'll
I
see.
think
I don't think so.
No, I'm with Jeff. It's not going to be
I don't think
Birds of
so.
Prey.
I'm going to go see a Valentine's Day by myself.
You don't think a movie that
Take
will
yourself
have
out.
like every kid built-in audience is going to beat Birds of Prey in money?
Oh, I didn't factor that in.
What?
Is it PG?
Yeah. It's a kids movie.
Oh,
It's a kids movie.
It's a kids movie.
It's just that.
Parents are going to be dropping their kids off at theaters just to get away from this.
Yeah.
But how
didn't-
relevant is Sonic to kids
I didn't
nowadays?
factor that in.
decently.
When was the
He may
last
not-
big Sonic
He
game?
may not need to be.
It's
though.
not the games. It's a
It's
cartoon.
a cute character.
Really?
So they.
Sonic
It's a cartoon, but there are Sonic games like
Those
on the
cartoons were
Switch
20
and everything
years
like
ago.
that. There are
they
Sonic
have
games
more
to
recent
play.
ones.
Okay.
He doesn't have the same clout that it used to have, where it was
Right.
like new Sonic game coming out.
Because the Sonic games
They're
died.
mainly
But-
going for us. Because we all watched it and played it.
You've got a character that's animated,
Yeah.
which is
And it's been marketed
funny,
well.
It's being well marketed. I think you've got a kid audience based off of just and running really fast. I mean, really, what more?
Yeah.
It's like what a superpower. I mean,
There's not people who run fast.
I didn't factor in the PG-13.
Plus, here's the other
Damn.
thing too. What else are they going to go see? There isn't
Or
like there's a
PG
whole bunch of kids
Right.
movies running right now too.
Yeah, it'd either go.
If it was
can't go
running up
Birds of Prey
against a
'cause
Pixar
it's
movie,
you know.
then I'd be like, no, that's not happening. But there's
I
really
didn't
nothing
factor
going
that
on.
There's no kids movie.
I'm still gonna lean no, but
Me too.
it might.
That's another stupid
might.
thing. Why they make it R when Birds of Prey audiences are teenage girls that can't go see a rated R movie?
Right, that's what I was saying earlier.
Fair
Whatever.
enough.
Yeah, so let's get out of here.
Still not
Go-
good.
Okay, so next
No.
week we'll review Picard 2 episodes. We get 2 episodes of straight The Outsider. We still have to watch that one.
Yeah.
Tune in next week. We should have some more comics to review, some more shit to talk about. Some more TV news, hopefully, because it's been kind of dry lately. Listen to us on all social media, or check us out on all social media. Listen to us wherever you download podcasts. Rogue Nation Pod, Instagram, and as always, this is the way.
Toss a coin to your witcher.